shit.
And we're live. Roll for Initiative presents Session 15 of Echoes of the Forgotten. We're back. I was supposed to do this, but we had to catch up because people AFK for a bit. But we'll do this first and then we'll do what happened last week. So the people getting inspiration this week are Nursing Osiris and Chef Galadi. Darren, feel free to explain to everyone what happened last week.
Last time on Echoes, the party made their final preparations to deal with the forest, and after some deliberation, they crossed the land bridge. Deciding the direct approach was best, they passed it by a druid who was tending some saplings in the clear area before the forest proper. They had a brief conversation, and then they reached the edge of the forest, decided that scouting ahead needed to be done. Unfortunately for the scouts, Nerystine and Christine, several of the trees they passed turned out to be animated and proceeded to thwack Nerystine out of commission. After a few rounds of fire, the party dealt with the trees, and Nerystine got back on his feet, as another smaller tree burst forth, striking at the party and before bamping away. Choosing to regroup, the party left the forest and deliberated over their actions. They were interrupted by some very strange druids who appeared to be quite confused, but managed to at least inform them they were fighting a woodwoad. Coming to terms with peace, I wrote this horribly, not being an option with their circumstances, the party ventured back into the forest again and put the woodwoad to its final sleep. They made sure the area around them was clear, and they turned back to leave the forest, discovering that Tide's favor has disappeared from view, and they are possibly trapped inside the great forest of Voneutia.
I mean...
So Kim, roll on the table.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Good start to the session.
The book,
That's
the guideline we're following says Kim must roll on the table when she joins.
Yeah, it also says that in my notes as well, weirdly enough.
All capitals and bolded and underlined.
Italics?
I didn't write it down as druid. A couple of nice
Now it
druids.
is.
I wrote them as shamans.
Words work, but roll the damn table.
Yeah, so basically, like, I think I remember last time, like, she was sort of anxiously looking around, seeing if something was attacking her, and then that realization hit her, and then she just started, like, almost starting to freak out. Let's see what happens now. What the fuck?
Nice. So everyone around you, you notice as Christine starts, like, glowing blue, and then the glow fades, and she's, like, spectral now. And then after, like, half a second, she's just disappeared.
Oh.
To Christine, everything turns very grey.
Okay.
What the... Christine?
And then about 6 seconds later, she just pops back in like nothing happened, and everything goes back to normal for you.
Yeah, like 6 seconds later, everything's back. It's all good.
What
I feel
happened?
I feel like for that, like, initial 6 seconds while she's, like, there would have been, like, that pulse as per normal. This one, like, light blue, and then, of course, she would have gone invisible. I feel like during that, she would have been, like, just looking around even more anxiously, and, like, it's like a sort of jump cut from, like, kind of anxious to what the fuck's going on.
Well, like, when everything was grey, if you, like, you moved your hand or you looked around, it was as if you were watching, like, a photograph, a black and white photograph of everything being, like,
Wow.
one frame at a time of it, like, moving. And then...
So, like,
it
delayed
snapped
hand.
back. Yeah.
She'd then just be, like, sort of holding her arm out, like, hold her arms out, just, like, looking like, huh? What? Well,
You can turn invisible?
I don't have it. I didn't prepare that.
It's okay. You're back now. It's all good.
I
She
mean,
then quickly, like, whips around, like, she's probably trying to figure out where they initially came from. Like, what spot they
Good
walked
luck.
from. Yeah.
I believe you already made a roll for that last session, and that's
Did I?
the roll you made a roll to figure out, like, to
Oh, I
look
was gonna
around
say.
yourself. And
No, I
that's
didn't know
when
the
you
rolls just to
discovered-
see if things were, like, around us attacking us, and I got a 5 on that, I think, something like that.
Either way, you already did a look around roll, and you
Okay,
rolled badly, and you can't find Voneutia, and now no one can find... Oh, sorry, Voneutia. No one can find Gizlan.
alright, everybody, I have a
I
plan.
mean, it could be Venetia.
Stand back. How high is the treetops? Or the canopy?
These trees are pretty fucking big. Most of them go at least 40, 50 feet high.
Yeah, they range between
Uh,
40 and the big ones go to, like, 100.
Yeah, like and then there's also an incredibly dense canopy above you as well.
Yeah, I was planning on using the grapple dagger in order to sort of make my way up to the top of the trees.
Right, roll on
That's the-
attack.
I'd say just use acrobatics with the grappling hook.
Let's see if he hits the tree first.
Okay, she'll roll to hit the tree.
Let's go, Peacemaker.
You hit the
Yeah, you hit a tree.
Nice.
Now
Barely.
you can roll your acrobatics. But yeah, you barely hit the tree.
25.
That's a pretty good roll.
It rappels around the top of the branch, probably of around a 40-foot tree. You now have a taut rope between you and the tree.
And you start pulling yourself in, because that's what it is.
Hey, Osiris, you wouldn't happen to know how to locate objects, would you? Or anyone down there? Nope.
Oh, fuck, that's the wrong campaign where I have those scrolls. Motherfucker.
Well, I hold down this bear trap that I obviously have. Keep close eye on where this is. I'm just going to go up the top.
I just
Use it as a guide.
I'm gonna keep my eyes like directly on him the whole time, just to make sure he doesn't like disappear.
Just as he's out of earshot, I turn to the rest of the group. I don't have any of that higher tier magical left, so I don't know what this is going to do to help.
Well, you start climbing up Nersian, and
Yep.
after a few feet, with Selena keeping an eye on you as you climb up, eventually you pass through such dense foliage that even you, Selena, can't keep an eye on him,
I
as
don't
he
see
just moves
anymore.
too high up. You keep climbing, Nersian?
I'm going to the fucking top.
Eurasian, we can't see you.
Hold on a second.
Just talk to us so we can tell where you are.
All right, hang on. I will grab some spare length of rope, tie it to the bear trap, and have it dangle down from my position as I continue to climb up. I've got, I think,
I hate to be like
a
that, but
decent amount.
we are kind of in an area we maybe shouldn't be yelling.
I'm aware that genius wasn't my idea to try and make friends with the forest people when they tried to kill you.
If there's teleporting, I just want to make sure that he doesn't randomly get sent somewhere else.
Hmm.
I mean,
I like to
if
keep
we-
an eye out if we're drawing attention.
I mean,
Yeah.
with
Make a
what
perception check.
with what the people said last time, I mean, if everything's collapsing on each other, then it's extremely unstable to move anywhere.
And Girl ID, you can make it one as well if you want.
Thank you.
Oh heck, that was a really bad roll.
Flat
I don't,
perception.
I
got
don't
a
think I am.
5.
Hi.
You're looking around. Unfortunately, the distraction of Nersian above you and the cracking of the twigs as he climbs up through the tree is distracting both Selena and Girl ID. To Osiris, you're trying to keep your ears and eyes out around you to notice if anything's off. You do hear the sounds of animals, like the usual, just like forest types of animals moving in the distance. You hear birdsong far away. It appears the forest isn't empty. There's creatures around, but for what you can tell, nothing like big and scary yet.
Ah, cool.
As for everyone, as you're like looking through, you see that the light of there, you still have bits of light, you see patches of light, but you see that it's slowly getting dimmer. As you're waiting for Nersian to continue this thing. As you sort of remember, it was around 4 p.m. when
Okay.
you were finishing off with the word.
Yeah, for
Sort of
Nersian.
I'd be like next to Christine and like, I don't know, whoever else is standing sort of nearby to just sort of like quietly mutter, I probably could have done this a little faster.
And with Nersian, as you get to the top of the tree and you look around, you just see an endless sea of like canopied trees in every direction.
Okay. Just endless trees towards the horizon.
Yep, in every direction. You just do the full swivel. You don't see any just landmarks aside from trees. There are some that are bigger. There's some that are smaller. There's like occasional gaps in trees where there might be a clearing or something, but all you see are trees in every direction.
May I make a nature check to determine if these trees are, like, for climate's sake, temperate, like we got, where, like, there's a temperate tree and a nice
Are you
jungle climate sort of thing. Like,
Are you
it's-
trained in nature? Do you have proficiency in your nature skill?
No, I don't. I have
And I
a
would
plus
say
4.
no. I would say no in this specific situation.
Okay.
Like, well, yeah, you can tell normal things about like nature and survival and whatnot. You know occasionally which things are good to eat and which are poisonous. You unfortunately don't have enough knowledge and study to be able to tell different kinds of tree based on season and whatnot.
Okay. I was gonna see if anything is magical, but I do not have detect magic. So,
Do you climb back down?
I'm gonna yell down. Endless sea of green up here, as far as I can see.
Do we hear?
Yeah.
Oh, that's just brilliant.
Yep. Looks like we're gonna have to make camp somewhere. Looks like we've got enough firewood.
Does anyone
very
remember
off-putting.
which direction we headed in?
We didn't walk far enough to warrant going any deeper.
Christine shakes her head. Like,
As an in-game reminder, you walked all of 60
30
feet into the
minutes?
forest.
well,
Not even
really?
30 minutes. You walked 60 feet into the
I
forest.
thought it was like a good 5 minutes at least.
Ah,
yeah.
like
No.
6 seconds if you're dashing.
Yeah.
Let's
So,
say 12.
We walked one turn.
Maybe 2 because you'll
Yeah,
walk.
maybe 2 turns worth of like distance into the forest, and then this.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna cast Minor Illusion. I'm gonna make like some sort of like a waypoint marker on top of this tree, and I'm going to walk on top of the tree tops in a 60 feet radius, all 360 degrees, trying to find out where the fucking entrance is.
Alright, you start trying to hop from tree to tree?
Yep.
Make another acrobatics check.
24.
To those on the ground, you hear a lot of rustling above you. You see sticks and stuff falling from above as Nerissa, and you jump from one tree to another. You have to like get partway down, then run across and jump to another like thicker branch and pull yourself up onto the next one. You climb back to the top. You do this to a few trees around the area. It'll take you a couple minutes to do a full lap from the tops of the trees and like constantly going up to check them.
Yep.
You don't find an exit, unfortunately. What is everyone down the bottom doing while you hear this rustling and everything from above?
Well, if we're stuck here, I do have some good news. As long as we can find something mildly edible, I can cook it.
I feel like we shouldn't split up at all, because who knows what will happen if we do. If we've disappeared into a thick path of forest, I feel like maybe there are more of these that could send us around. But yeah, I feel like if we can find anything and stick together, then definitely. I'm
Question.
thinking maybe I should take some time to meditate and see if there's anything I can get from that.
Well, while you do that, I'm going to have a look in the immediate vicinity for any sort of mushrooms that look like they maybe won't kill us.
Would you like to use some rope, maybe? Maybe we should have rope with us, just in case.
The area we're standing around, how, like, thick is the foliage? Like, I assume, like, we could see, you know, like, through some trees and whatnot.
No,
It's rather dense underbrush. The actual trees do have a bit of gaps between them, as they can't grow too close together, or else they choke each other and die.
But there's a
There
lot
is-
of, like, bushes and that, I'm assuming.
Yeah, there's lots of bushes in that. There are game trails you spot every so often, but they're like, it's like, oh, here's a game trail for a deer. It's barely wide enough for one person to walk down it, without like brushing constantly against the underbrush on either side. Like Osiris would not be able to easily walk down one of these trails without getting like sticks and stuff caught in his clothes.
Well, I got 50 feet of rope. That'll be the absolute limit. I'll attach it to a stick or something here.
I'm more than happy to lend you my rope as well, if you need.
I'm just gonna plant a stick in the middle of the group of them. Not whatever stick I can find, just shove it in the ground.
Yeah, there's definitely sticks around.
Yep. Well, they were dropping on our heads, were they not? Yeah, I'll shove a stick in the ground, tie up one end of the rope with the other end, like, I don't know, around my waist, I guess. And just check the immediate, I assume maybe 40 feet vicinity.
No, you start walking around. You
Do you want a
do
nature check or anything?
so what are you looking for? What are you looking for particularly?
So,
Like food and stuff? Like,
I imagine
you
survival
can-
would be to find stuff, but nature is if I can discern whether it looks like it would be poisonous, I imagine.
Yes.
I would say in the situation, nature or survival. Nature's actually I'd say nature because it's like mushrooms and whatnot. It's not like
Because
you're
this
hunting
is
animals.
terrain I don't recognize, so I'm going off my own knowledge of
Yeah.
general, science.
And being a chef, you do know quite a bit about edible foods.
Mhm.
You don't find a lot. You see traces of some, like you said, mushrooms before. You see traces of some mushrooms that would be growing in the area, but it looks like something else came through and ate them already. So like all you see is like broken stalks, and you see like a moss that probably is edible, but
I
it's
still
not.
see it
gonna
as a
taste
good sign, though.
Yeah, there's food in the forest. Like there's creatures living here, so there's got to be something to eat.
Yeah, so that'll be occupying my time while they're doing whatever. If
And-
we take a roll, just let me know, though.
I am going to set up a little area just with like. I'll probably just get my bedroll down, just sort of set that up, and then just have my. What do you call it? The holy symbol and everything. I'll just sort of get into the sort of meditation that I did before.
Mhm.
Would you like me to roll anything for that?
Not at the moment.
What are the other two doing?
Demetrius said he had a question.
I think he's away.
He is.
Oh, I have a question then.
Mm-hmm.
When we entered the forest the second time, the last time, did we have any sort of abnormal sensation come over us?
It's hard to really determine sensations that are sudden and strange to your head when you're in the middle of fighting a teleporting creature.
Maybe you need to sneeze. I don't know.
So unfortunately, if there was something, none of you seem to have noticed it.
But it's quite obvious we've been moved, though. Or something along those lines. I think Christine will probably. I think throughout, while people are doing things, she'd just probably be, a bit. Almost taking a step back, not really participating, just sort of watching things happen while she's kind of in her own head.
Okay.
I'll just sit up against the tree and play.
Selena, can you make a perception check?
Sure.
The music definitely helps a little bit for me.
About the same time that Neurosian starts coming back down, this is when, RD, you've finished looking the area, discovering, there's edible food around, just unfortunately none you could find. Neurosian, you start climbing back down, having discovered what you discovered, and at that moment you realize if you've been moved somewhere, maybe there's that flower from when you killed the woodward that was growing out, and your eyes snap open, and you look around and try to spot where the woodward died. You can't see it.
Okay. Like that, I would have seen this, even though I was meditating.
It's this is something while you're meditating, you were thinking on everything, and that's one thing you're because you guys are saying either you've been moved or maybe the forest has been moved or something like that. You think, well, if the
I
area
have
around
that.
you has been moved with you, then that would be moved with you as well, because you guys were right next to it. You haven't gone anywhere since you killed the woad, but when you look around and try to find the area, you can't find the remains of the woad.
The word's not here anymore.
So whatever it was took all of us.
Except for, I guess, maybe because he was no longer living.
Became more
So-
terrain than person. Creature, I should say.
I guess that answers one thing, but leaves us with many questions. Okay, I need to concentrate.
Is everything okay down there?
So to catch up to Neurosian, this is about the time where you finished your circumnavigation of the area, and if you want to, you can come back down and rejoin them.
Yeah.
Also,
I'm gonna come back down, sort of Tarzan style, with my tail like hanging upside down on the bronze, like, I think we're in the fucking Feywild, eh?
Possible.
Well, I just checked up there. We only walk 60 feet in, and it's an endless sea of trees. So, we either teleported somewhere, or, we went deeper than we thought.
Well, none of you felt any form of magic when we all, well, realized, right?
No.
I'm
I
just
got my
asking.
noggin hit one too many times today.
There's no way we went in further than we thought. Like, I'm sure we didn't go in very far. I'm sure of it.
Well, on one hand, this is still a pretty cool experience not to get, I imagine.
Just sort of like head turn and like a bit of like a, what, really? Like look on her, but doesn't say anything.
And look, I always wanted to go into planar traveling.
So, Osiris,
Yes, Osiris. You said
You-
your teacher was from the Feywild. Sorry.
I was gonna say Osiris seems a bit older than all of us. Maybe he.
Maybe you cut out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're cutting out.
It's doing that again. One sec. Is that fine?
Yeah.
Yeah, Discord's been doing this thing where it keeps cutting out.
Okay.
Seeing as Osiris seems to be probably the more well knowledgeable of all of us, I was hoping maybe he would be able to make a better, more concrete conclusion.
Well, that's fair. Nearest, you are also correct. My mentor was inherently from the Feywild. She didn't speak too much about it, but there would be more. You'd know if you're in the Feywild. At the moment, we only assume.
Well, are there any threats in the Feywild? Any known landmarks that she
Just
may have set in
Laughs at
place?
you.
I'll take that as a no. Oh well then. We're up shit creek with no paddle, no direction, and
No boat.
essentially, yeah.
I feel like at this point, like after hearing that, I would have like been like maybe leaning on like a tree. I would have just like sort of slid down and just sat down at that point.
Christine, you're gonna be okay. Don't worry.
Don't talk to me, please. Don't. And
I
then
take
like
it.
she just starts breathing again. Like you just watch like her magic just slowly pulses as per normal, just like sort of bluish light almost emanating around her.
I was like, that is just all happening. You know, you're kind of getting into a calm state, and the camera just pans across to Selena, who's just sitting on her bedroll with a little pendant around her neck, with just a bubble of water over her ears and around the pendant. Just like closing her eyes. Going,
I'm just imagining the Studio Ghibli lo-fi beats.
yeah, why
I
not?
just like to think, like, as she gets further into the meditation, like, just like sort of like a pulsing of just like cold blue magic, kind of like, sort of just like hangs over her like body.
Hmm.
I'll grab out the violin and I'll start playing Poor Unfortunate Souls.
So,
Roll performance.
And I'm not
Well,
going to hear any of it.
while they're doing that music, I guess it's appropriate to ask how many of
Inspiration,
you
I'm
have been,
burning it.
Already? Okay.
how much experience do you all have in actual, you know, sort of living it out in the wilds?
Well, I was kicked off a pirate ship at 3 years old and had to live on the streets, so I got a lot.
But that's streets, not.
I'd say the
wilds, is it?
Turtle Man does. He's like over 100, I think.
I am up there in my age.
And I'm going to assume Christine and Selena, you two haven't been too experienced in the outside world?
Virtually non-existent, my friend.
And Annex? Wait,
Virtually non-existent, my friend.
I'm just remembered Annex's character is young, isn't she?
6 months.
Hmm. So we do have a slither of hope then that we can probably get out of this.
A sliver of hope's enough.
That
Right,
does
well,
beg you. Sorry, I meant to interrupt.
then I'll say this kindly. If you're going to eat anything, check it carefully.
Narician will begin the hunt. I'll be back with maybe food.
So you're gonna go off and separate from the group and go off on your own into the forest?
You know what? I'm bringing Chef Girl RD with me. She knows how to prep this shit.
Holy shit, what did I just fucking say before?
Did the two of you want to go off on your own in the
You
forest?
said nothing. You shut
Look.
up, nuthead.
Nursian, lizard, whatever you want to be called. As much as I love my cooking and I love my food, I've already had a small scout around. And that was staying in a way I could be within range. I might be very intrigued and want to explore these lands, but I'm not stupid enough to separate the party for something like that. If we're going to do it, we need a proper plan first and to guarantee that we're not going to get separated. Is that clear?
Oh yes, crystal clear. I have an idea on how to make that work. It's just well, I doubt that anybody has the ability to lure animals closer towards them.
We could put you up as bait.
Nah, I mean, I hold up a bear trap. Like, if something comes close enough, bear trap.
I'm not going to ask why you have a random bear trap.
Oh, some asshole was trying to prevent me from going back to my hovel in his inn. So, I broke his tiles and stole his bear traps.
Let's just take this one step at a time then. Okay, what is I look over towards... Christine can hear, yeah?
She is able to hear, yes. Like,
Selena cannot hear currently, though, yes.
she's got water in her ears.
I
Over
sort of
my
look-
please.
I look around at you all and... Okay. If time runs even remotely different here, I don't know how it is. What is everyone's count of, say, food supply for the next few days? We need to tick off what we have got available and if we'll be fine in that front.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Okay. I'll get back to her in a minute. She doesn't seem like she's...
I
Cyrus?
have 3 weeks of rations, and it says.
That's
Carry
good,
that
that's
bag.
good. And Nerisian and Osiris?
I
You're
guess
good
it's
for
one
it.
and a half.
Weeks worth.
One at a time.
You can go first.
I got about a week and a half's worth.
Just over 2 weeks.
Likewise, so I think our food situation should be fine unless we attract prey that wants it and we need to sacrifice it.
Oh no.
Now,
Oh shit.
water.
Oh fuck. Oh shit. I then start going over to the trees, scrambling up. Lucille! No! No! I then start wailing and visibly crying.
I filled up my water
I crawl
bottle.
into a ball.
I filled up my water skin when we were in town, so it's fresh.
Hmm.
You
Well,
can
well,
assume-
my...
We as DMs can assume that you did that as well. Anyone else who wanted to and would have had to
What's this?
supply, resupply on water. You would have done that in town.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Benevolent of you.
Well, then we're going to have to go with
Thank
what
you.
we've got for now and maybe find a source of that. We should also probably find cover, assuming time runs similar here to wherever we're from, whatever we call it these days.
Voneutia.
Yeah. So let's get ready, travel as a group, and find a bit of shelter, perhaps. Who knows? Maybe we'll find some sort of sign of life that's friendly.
Do you think we'll be able to see the seal again?
I fucking
If
hope
you-
so. I spent so much money on that damn card.
And if you freak out and scream like that again, I'm going to put a muzzle on you.
You put a muzzle on me, I'll sever your spinal column.
Well, at least you've got spunk.
I would like
It's
to
not
locate a
spunk if
path.
it's a death threat and a promise.
Well, how
Uh,
do you guys want to travel? Like, there, you can just go wandering through the underbrush. You can follow one of the game trails, or you can attempt to walk in a specific direction.
Ideally a game trail, because animals always need water, so wherever they'll go,
Alright.
water would be in that direction, but I would like to try and find a path that I can fit through.
Everyone roll survival then. Whoever's participating in looking for this stuff.
Oh, we're traveling now.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna
They are.
I'm gonna have a
opt
long
out of
rest,
this
thank
roll
you.
to try and get Selena's attention.
Okay.
I'm a gently go over to Christine, tap her on the shoulder, hold her hand, say, "Come on, let's go."
So as you all get ready to leave, because Selena, you are meditating as well,
Yeah.
did you want to roll an Arcana check?
Yes, please. I like that.
It's a pretty good roll.
That's
Um,
good.
As Goladi comes to get your attention from your meditative trance, you pull the water and you look around you, and it's only for a brief moment, but you can feel that there is as your experience back when you did the trial and you had that meditative state that opened you up to sense the magic around you. That area, it was specifically designed to help you out do that. You try to do a similar thing here, and you get a similar response, so it's way faint, but you can feel there are traces of magic around you. Though it goes away almost immediately.
Oh, I just carefully shape the water back into the water skin.
As you. Okay.
No, it's all good. You go.
If you wanted to say. I was just gonna DM. If you wanted to play, I'll go ahead.
Are we moving?
It's best we at least travel as a group to find some form of proper shelter or water.
Yes, I agree.
We're
I
going
believe
to
there's
find-
magic around. I did get a sense of it for a moment there. It's very faint, but it's definitely something.
That is good. I just need to ask a quick question to AJ and Darian, because it might have been a slight oversight.
Yeah.
While he's done that, upon hearing that, I'll just sort of myself stop my breathing. The pulse goes away, and sort of put up my head, listen to what she says, stand up. I want to cast Detect Magic with a slot, see if I can detect anything nearby.
I see you spending a spell slot to cast Detect Magic.
I can't ritual cast, so yeah.
Yep. As you finish casting it, it only takes a few seconds. You blink and you open your eyes to magic around you, and almost immediately you see traces of magic scattered around the forest as you're walking.
Are they coming from a certain area, or moving, or
They're sort of jittering up and down like sprites, like little puffs of things that just seem to be rising, falling very listily, as if it's.
But it's
the
not
wind.
Yeah, but it's you see a little thing of abjuration magic over somewhere, moving around a tree, and then you see two little bits of conjuration magic on separate trees that seem to be working together, and you see illusion, a little illusion magic off in a difference. It seems to be moving around, but it's
Okay.
it's not some weird fancy type magic. It's actual schools of magic that seem to just move with the forest itself.
Yeah. I think. No, yeah, she's right. Her eyes now have kind of gone from her normal grey look to a bit more of a purple tinge. I see. I see abjuration, conjure. I see many schools just moving.
Any
Why?
necromancy?
No.
No.
Do I recognize that from any old books that I would have read? Something where there's magic that's just floating around like that?
roll history, and I'll quickly do an Osiris thing. Osiris, with your check before we forget, you find you don't find like a game trail or like a dirt path that's like carved out. You find a section of brush that seems to be wide enough for you to walk in comfortably. That has some depressions as if something was traveling down there, but you can't tell if it was humanoid or a creature at all. But you can fit through there.
How deep are the impressions?
A little bit, maybe they're not super hard. Probably maybe like at the most 4 inches deep. Nothing too deep.
Like if you were to step down next to them, it's a little deeper than your own footprint. But there's also traces around of things that, like, you step in a different area and you see, oh, that's something that's definitely smaller than me. Like,
Yeah, okay. little off put with the fact that whatever this thing, probably. What's the opposite of bipedal?
Quadrupedal?
Quadrupedal.
Yeah, that one.
Well, technically bipedal.
And weighs more than I do, therefore its body mass is. Yeah, nah, okay.
well, you can think of a few creatures that are, like, bigger than, like, as big or bigger than humans that weigh more. Like, it could be a bear. Yeah. It could just be, like, a very large dog.
Horses, technically, even.
Yep.
Yeah, but I weigh 422 pounds.
Oh,
Yeah,
we're fucking 400
and a-
pounds.
Horse can weigh like a ton.
Yeah, so like, if you step next to this footprint, it's only a little bit deeper than, like, your own one. Because, yeah, like, there are creatures that are natural and weigh a lot more than you do.
Yeah, but also their weight is distributed across 4 limbs.
Fair.
That's just the assumption I'm making. Is all.
There's a
Yeah, but what if it stood on 2 limbs to scratch its ass? Who knows?
Back to Selena. Your history check sort of just, it's more of, you've heard of these things, it's like just places with innate magic is it not in and of itself, but not really much can be gleaned other than that. But like, you recall that people say the forest is magic. Like, this forest itself is magical in nature, so it might just be something to that effect.
Okay. I probably wouldn't say anything.
It's a pretty common thing. Like, people, it's why the logging companies seem to stay away, because you would know, given where you grew up. The forest is not a normal forest, always.
They only cut around the outside.
So, Sarah seems to have found a path. Everyone else seems to be not keen, but at least willing to move.
As long as we're traveling
What did you
together.
find there, Osiris? A little bit of tracking.
Just some footprints.
Anything edible?
Can I look at said footprint?
No, those yet. That's what I said, like, Dimitri.
I'd move up to where, like, Osiris is, so that we're, like, sort of closer together.
If you have a look at Dimitri, it's just a footprint of a creature. Can't really determine. It doesn't seem to be spread out in a distinct pattern that A, you would know, B, you would recognize, or just it's probably just a creature that's been living in here and is walking through.
Mammalian, reptilian.
No.
Or can't really
Well,
say.
you cannot assume. It's just an impression in the ground. Like, there's no, like, it's not a mud footprint on the ground. It's literally just, there's depression where the grass was because something has traveled through it.
This trailer you guys had to travel on, it's not, like, flat. You're constantly having to step over roots or, like, step around bushes or things like that. It's not exactly... It's clear in terms of you're not having to constantly, like, cut bushes aside to get forward. But it's just... It's still not easy traveling through a nature trail.
Are you all heading, just following the path of least resistance then? Just traveling until you find something that makes sense to rest at?
Most likely, yeah.
I'm a fucking Tarzan, this shit.
Proper shelter.
Alright, I'll need someone... You'll need you to nominate a person for them to roll a d20 into the tower.
Ooh,
This is the person
I
who is
wanna do
leading
it.
the group.
Oh.
Nerisium will lead. Ah!
Okay.
Eurasian fucked us all.
Let me check the thing.
Where
I
did you
really
magically
hope you roll a
teleport to?
dragon.
Hey,
If you
look,
roll
it's the
the
Maya.
fucking dragon-
Whoopsie.
I'm a fucking killer.
Yeah, good luck with that, buddy. I'll watch you die.
Yeah, no, we'll leave you for dead.
As you stumble through the area, you see what looks like a decently large clearing. There seems to be a formation of rocks in the center with a pile of ashes around it, probably some sort of old campsite. A couple of stumps left behind, and you see little bits of like leaves and fabric there, and you see just like a cup just sitting on a rock near a small little brook.
There's
Another
no-
second.
You said there was like remains of potential campfire, right?
Yep.
It's not like smolder or anything. It's like completely out, I assume.
Yeah, it's out.
Yeah,
it's just there's the ring of rock that would be in the thing, and then there's ash in the middle.
Is Christine's detect magic still up?
It
10
would have
minutes.
expired a while ago. You've been walking for at least an hour.
Okay, yeah.
At this point, the sun is like on the decline. It was about 4 p.m. when we started. It's probably pushing 6, 7 p.m. So the sun is setting.
Well, this looks like signs that someone or something else has been in here.
Before that we set camp around here, we have to check something first. I grab out a rapier. I'ma start poking everything, making sure they're not fucking mimics.
You poke the tree branches. You poke the
Yeah, I won't poke the cup.
You poke the stumps. You poke the rock.
Yeah.
You poke the middle of the campfire. After
Yeah.
like, how long are you doing this
Shit
for?
poking.
How long are you doing this for?
A decent like 5 to 10 minutes.
And what are you guys doing? You waiting for him? We're just gonna walk in.
While he does this, I will once more cast detect magic. I still spell slots.
Okay.
I'm gonna wait back because I kind of want to see if there's any signs of. I'm looking around it as best I can for any signs that someone might have been here recently. Though those signs would be rare at best.
Okay. As you
Humanoid signs, I guess.
just
Yeah,
poke
just-
around, you'll find Christine. As you look around, you see a small ring of mushrooms, like encircling this thing, spread out. Not
Oh.
evenly, but random patches, making this large circle. This like free open area seems to have a faint tinge of abjuration magic on there.
Protection.
But that's it. Yeah, and a bit of divination as well.
Bit of divination.
Yeah.
Fuck, what do I know divination be used for?
I'm gonna check
Besides
out an
seeing
investigation.
Can I? This is more a thing I don't know actually. Is divination magic used to also prevent the use of divination magic?
Abjuration would be prevention.
I think abjuration is mostly defensive. I'll have a
I
look at the one spell.
don't yeah.
I'll look at the one spell that first stops divination magic, and then I'll. let you
No,
know.
it is abjuration.
Okay, just wanted
Yeah.
for my own
Protective spells.
memory.
Chef Galladay, as you're looking around, you see
Okay.
2 faint depressions, parallel lines that are
Two
like
defense
leading
people.
out through into the forest.
Just any humanoid signs, and if that's humanoid enough, I will take it.
They don't look humanoid. They're just like there's
How?
2 long.
Yeah, no, humanoid
lines.
specifically what I'm looking for. If I can't find that, that's fine.
They look like
Sorry.
cart tracks.
That's that's close enough to humanoid. I'll accept that.
Is it cart tracks without like a horse or anything
Yes.
like that? Okay, yeah. Well, you know where they came from.
Yeah, with that,
Nice.
you can pretty much put together the idea. This is probably an old campsite that
Yeah.
they may have used at some point, but it looks like no one's been here for a long while.
My next question is, how big is that circle?
Good, maybe
Which-
50 feet diameter. Radius.
It basically covers like almost the whole clearing.
Yeah, no spells that I can think of, even as character, come to mind that would even make that. Okay. Yeah. I will relate it was mushrooms, right? Like
Yeah.
splattered around. the mushroom like patches. She sort of starts pointing them out and sort of like points them out in like a circular fashion. They have very faint lingering abjuration and divination. I don't know what it could be, but it could. I mean, by the looks of the tracks as well, it seems like this is the place where those people came from.
Maybe
And-
they
Took
used it
some
as a
solace
kind of protection circle, perhaps.
And abjuration is the school of what? Sorry.
Protection. Protection.
It's like a nature version of Lehman's tiny hut.
Just remind me. You said this was like a circle of the mushrooms surrounding the place, yeah?
Yeah, it's a large clearing, about 50 feet in radius, and then there's the small patches of mushrooms forming around the circle. There's not.
Does
Has
it-
there
does it look
gone
like-
into the circle or
Yeah.
anything like that?
Yeah, I've gone into the circle to poke shit.
Okay.
I'm assuming you're rolling in the circle at the moment.
I'd say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was
Like
going
it-
to ask,
yeah,
is
okay.
there any mushrooms
Yeah.
within the circle? Like, I can understand outside, but
A
I'm
few?
curious if there's any within.
Yeah, there's a few.
Okay, well, that throws out that theory.
I'd like to cast Identify on the mushrooms.
Okay.
That's smart.
You spend a spell slot. It doesn't seem to have some sort of. It's not a spell in itself. I mean, it is, but it's more like just a natural ward. Probably used to deter wild creatures from coming into this area.
Well, that's cool.
Well,
Let's be attacked by a were-raccoon.
And what the fuck is the divination? Oh my god, that's racking my brain.
Probably to spy on people
Detection.
in this area.
Mm.
I mean,
guess
it's open enough and it seems safe enough. Maybe we should just set up here for now.
I feel like we've kind of lucked out, in a way.
As we found, there were tracks over there that looked like it could be those carts. We can only assume so much.
We could follow these tracks tomorrow.
If they're still there.
That's true.
Very true.
Do I detect the faint smell of that herbage them shamans were smoking?
Whatever like people who stayed here, it was incredibly long ago. You can tell just from like the tracks themselves are barely visible if you didn't look for them. The fire pit looks like no one's used it in weeks.
Like there is
So, no.
there's plant growth in it. Like there's small like tufts of grass popping out from the ashes.
May I also borrow an extra 50 feet of rope? I'm gonna have a look around a bit further out.
Yeah, of course. I just
Much-
hand in my rope.
Yeah, much like before, I'll get these tied to a stick, probably a bit closer to the edge, so I can go out a bit further. But yeah,
Okay.
I have a
gonna-
reason for heading out this far. I'll get to that in a minute.
Can you roll
I
me?
will be following Chef Girl ID.
Can you roll me a thing check into the tower? Perception. With a little
Thing check.
amendum. 1 second.
Me or
You. Well, both of you if you're going out, but 1 second.
I would try to avoid him following me, but
Bye.
BRB.
Osiris, as you're looking like one last time into the thing, you
Oh, yes.
pick up.
Right.
You pick up that there is a spell, a divination spell in the thing. It's commune with nature,
there's a second.
and it's
Sorry.
only. It's only. It was like luckily it was on one of the mushrooms you looked at specifically.
Basically, look at it, you can tell that like it is a spell that allows someone doing something to pretty much join their consciousness with nature itself to learn about the area around them. You don't know how to activate it, you don't know how to do it, and you know it's a moderately high level spell, so it's interesting that it's here.
Okay.
As you're both looking through Chef Galad, you don't really see anything to note. It's getting a bit too dark for you to discern anything.
I do know he's
particular.
following me, right?
He's not being quiet about it, so yeah, you're passive always preying off that.
Then he's probably the reason I'm not looking around too well.
Nerissine, on the other hand, anything in particular looking for?
Signs of small game, other humanoid or the like foot tracks, possibly something to eat. Just making sure that everything is safe.
You see rabbit tracks and like deer tracks walking up to this thing, and then you see this barrier, or you see this like mushroom area, and you see that they've it's stopped, and then it's like going around it for a bit, and then it's going back into the threshold of the forest as you're like walking out. This barrier seems to be preventing most animals from getting in there, but you don't really see any wildlife nearby enough to hunt. You can hear it, but you can't really necessarily find anything to hunt.
That's very interesting, Chef Gerlardi. If you look at these tracks over here, animals can go up to this certain point here, but take a wide berth and then return back into the forest. I think it's some sort of deterrent.
I mean, we could see this as a good sign. Hey, Nerisian.
Yes.
Seeing as you don't currently have the rope tied around you, would you be willing to do me a small favor?
What would that favor be?
How fast can you climb?
Very fast.
Do me a favor, climb up as high as you can and have a look for some birds' eggs. Do not take them, just have a look, see if there's any up there.
Insight.
Go for it.
16.
Up to you to determine how much they know from that, Sam.
Actually, I was just going to roll a deception against it.
Yeah, if you want to.
No, you can beat that.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You can tell as much as I clearly have an ulterior motive, and there's definitely a reason why I'm asking you to climb up, but it's not to look for the bird's eggs.
You do realize that, despite how inebriated those gentlemen we met might have seemed, they did provide one good insight. For the life of me, I don't know what your fucking deal is.
And is it any of your business?
It is when it concerns the life and well-being of my friends.
It has nothing to do and will bring no harm to them. That part I can tell you.
Well, let me make you a promise then. And I pull out my rapier and I push it towards your heart. I'm not going to stab you. If you were to do anything untoward my companions, I am a dragon first, and you will face my wrath. Is that understood? I do not like being lied to. I'm not an idiot. And I know when someone is trying to take advantage of someone else.
Well, at least you're smarter than you look. I can give you a bit of truth, but I would still like you to follow through with that request in return.
I will leave you alone after you tell me a little bit of truth.
The actual truth is I am sending out a message to some companions of mine. They have no harm, and there will be no harm coming to any of your friends or the party. But it is a family request, basically.
Insert.
What is with you and 16s, out of curiosity?
I have no fucking idea.
It's like you.
Oh!
Telling complete truth on you for this one.
Hey, you are not sure, Nerisian.
Complete is probably not the right word, but
Also, when you beat someone with deception, it's not that they believe you, it's that you can't
No.
tell whether they're lying or not.
Yeah.
So who knows?
That's what I'm saying. As far as he's concerned, I most likely am telling the complete truth on this one. And I'm not exactly lying, so...
the wording on that's a bit wrong, but
You know, that's all do for now. You will tell me more in detail later,
Mhm.
lest you find me with a dagger to your throat when you sleep. And I leave.
Is he heading back?
I'm going up a tree to find some birds'
Okay.
eggs.
Roll survival, Nerisian.
Stealth?
Okay.
Survival. If you're looking for eggs.
If you're trying to stealth and follow her, then yeah, but if you're looking for eggs, then survival.
Can I do two things?
No.
Stealth.
Mm-hmm.
22.
Jesus Christ.
I'm not even going to attempt to bloody defeat that.
You could roll a natural 20, which will still lose because you don't crit.
Yeah,
skill
no,
checks.
I don't have any bonuses there. So.
I don't think even I could beat that.
Yeah,
You watch Nersian climb a tree, and he
as far as
disappears
I'm
into the
concerned, he
foliage
climbed.
above.
Yep.
Nersian,
head
you...
out. Oh, sorry.
I'm assuming you're moving away from the area, RD?
I'm heading out to the maximum length of the rope, basically, before... Yeah.
Yeah. Somehow, Nersian, you manage to deceive the rope itself, and you follow and stay within earshot, I'm assuming is what you're aiming to do.
Yep.
Okay.
You probably just hide behind one of the bloody trees, honestly. I imagine the girth of it's quite thick, so...
There's a few there. With how small he is and everything, there's a lot of places for Nersian to hide.
Mhm.
This is like a really good
Basically-
environment for a stealth.
Yeah. As I get out far enough, I look around a little. Good. I pull out the sending stone. And I speak the words as follows. Small update. We are potentially trapped within the Feywild. Any advice would be welcomed. Artie out.
You hear back. Let me have a quick look at sending spell.
can travel
5%
between
You can go
chance.
between planes.
If it is
it's-
between
that's
planes,
not what I'm looking
5%
up for
chance.
sending.
25 words.
Yeah, that's why I kept it limited.
Any distance.
You gotta use all 25 words, otherwise the spell fails.
XOXOXOXO.
That's what Osiris is really looking for, this, to be Jester.
Can I intercept that sending with my sending?
I'm just
Are you wondering
wondering
if they hear it out loud, AJ?
Yeah, I'm wondering if Dimitri can hear the response back.
I believe it is received telepathically
Mentally.
to the person.
Okay.
Unless specifically the stones say so, or you want to do it on those stones. Otherwise,
that's what I'm
it's
asking,
using
Darren.
it.
If
I'll
it
let
wants
you go
to be
damn rolling on that one. If it's out loud, it could be an old sending stone for all we know. They haven't
You
got
want
the
to be a
wi- the
radio style sending stone where it's like
They haven't got the telepathic technology yet for these stones.
They're not the
It's on
earbuds, they're the regular stone.
Not the- oh, I want the earbud stone.
DM's
Careful,
rolling.
they got
I don't
stone
mind.
buds in.
I'm just waiting for a response from Darren, and then I'll say what I need to say.
I can't hear
Jump
if
back
they
to
got
the
sending
others if you
buds
want to
in.
now.
You go, AJ.
Uh,
You say what you want to say. I don't really have anything to add.
would it be out loud or not out loud?
Oh no, it would not be out loud.
Okay. In your head, you hear, Feywild, huh? Neat. Try and come back home safe.
Awful fuckers. Well, I guess I better head back. I didn't find much out here.
Could I,
Actually,
judging by her demeanor and what she has been doing, could I determine whether or not she has some sort of criminal background or is familiar in subterfuge and or
You
Spying.
What? Did you want to roll to say that, or do you want to just have that assumption? Because you can have that assumption without making a roll.
I can have the I know I can have the assumption, and I would like to have the assumption.
Then you have the
I just
assumption.
feel like I need a.
You yourself have a criminal background.
If you want to
could
roll
probably-
insight to see, like, just think about everything that Chef Girl's D is done in a
Yeah.
general thing, then go
No.
ahead. You can.
Yeah.
Their assumption is your own thing.
Yeah. All right. I'll do an insight. So close.
You know that
So
she goes off periodically. Most of the time, no one knows where she is when she does so. You just heard her talk out loud as if she was talking to someone. You heard nothing come back. She doesn't particularly seem to be hiding. Like she doesn't physically hide when it comes to combat or anything. So you want to know if that's like trained in whatever it is. She seems a little bit more charismatic than other people you know, but that's about it.
Listen, all this takes a lot of
so I'm very charismatic.
Yeah, I will
and you do get used to it
make my way back
for a while.
Yeah,
afterwards.
I'd probably have to wait around the 50 feet mark looking for you, so...
One,
Yep.
not having
Yeah.
a step all the time.
I will
Two,
I'll actually try and find some birds' eggs.
Alright, roll survival.
All right, baby, here I go. Let's see if I can find some chicken eggs.
Let's see if you can follow my fucking orders and I'll
You
take them.
find
you had a
you find a nest in the tree.
Sure,
It's
we
got
got
about
some songs on the
3
old
eggs in it.
Trying to
Nice.
imagine what they sound
Okay.
like.
I will
Room full of fine people.
how securely are they in the nest? As in, if I were to just take the nest and leave the eggs, would the eggs fall?
Yes.
Yes.
Why would you do that?
I believe my exact words were to just locate, don't take.
They're not in a divot. They're in like a
Big on
Y
branch.
branch.
Why?
Okay, how big is the Y?
It's a rather
Oh,
large
yeah, but
nest.
it's-
The eggs aren't particularly small.
I got a pretty big Y. in the tree.
You say.
Why?
Okay, I'm going to
Why not you have this big
take out
Oh,
the eggs and scatter them along this tree, and I will bring back the nest.
You
In such a way that the eggs will not fall onto the ground.
find
If I can find another bird's nest, I will put the eggs in that bird's nest.
you find
What?
a knot in the tree. You find like a hole in the tree, and you put the 3 eggs in there.
Yep.
You see a squirrel like salute back as it starts chomping on them.
Yep.
As you bring back an empty bird's nest.
How well made is this bird's nest?
Pretty good
Ow,
for
my
eggs. It did good for eggs.
It was pretty good for eggs, apparently. Oh god, my head.
I'm going to spend some point during the evening finding like long blades of grass or some like straw or something to make a nice sun hat and weave a nice hat.
You find long enough grass to start making your hat.
Damn, you have proficiency in weaving? That's pretty cool.
Oh my fucking god.
About an hour or so later, you're waiting there. Chef Galadie is like tapping her foot 50 feet away from the campsite.
I would actually like to fuck with her a little bit as well.
I'm pretty sure this is already fucking with her, but go ahead.
But
Oh
go
no,
ahead.
no, I was gonna cut the rope.
I would probably feel the
It's
tension.
sort
drop.
of you wouldn't because it's.
I was
pretty
going to
slack.
What I would like to do is I'm going to mage hand,
Yeah.
hold the rope, so it's still taut, then cut the rope,
Okay.
so it's still taut, tie the rope to... Actually, no, I'll keep the hand there. I'll walk back into camp, and then I'll drop concentration on mage hand and let the rope drop, and I'll take back the rest of the rope.
The rope has been cut. Chef
Where did you
Galadie.
cut it exactly? How many feet in did you cut it?
How many feet?
Well, as I said, I was only 50 feet away. That's a full length of the, at least one of our ropes.
It's quite. It's quite
It's
taut.
not as far as you'd think. That's why I'm asking whereabouts did you cut it?
I'm going to cut it about...
That's my rope.
Yeah, it
Mhm.
is.
Cut her rope.
It is your rope.
Yeah,
I'll
it is
cut
your
it
rope.
about
You could just untie
20
it.
feet.
Okay.
No.
Why?
Now you've got listen though. Now you've got a 20-foot rope and a 30-foot
30-foot rope.
Yeah.
That's
Hey!
2 feet of rope.
Now, how
Why?
much? Now, if you have a 5-liter jar, a 7-liter jar, and a 1-liter jar, can you exactly get 4-liter jars? That's what I need
No.
you to do now.
No, you'd probably
Yeah,
lose
you just
5
did a
feet if
1
you
liter
tied
jar
it
4
together.
times.
Assist.
Alright, let's just, in terms of speeding this up, Narissa, you go back to camp, prick, by yourself.
Yep.
RD, you end up with an empty slack rope in the middle of the forest. I'm assuming you just head back to camp once you get a slack rope.
I just, as I head back, I'm just rolling up, doing the thing over the arm, rolling up the rope.
Yeah. Which is like, you're like 30 seconds behind Narisian, because 50 feet is not very far for
Yeah,
a D&D
no, that's
walking
fine.
speed.
When I get
Um,
back, I'll probably I'll ignore his existence and just give back the other part of the rope that belongs to
All of it.
What what is everyone else doing in this, like, let's say hour-ish
Take that
time
back.
where this has been going on?
Oh, I haven't noticed him doing this. I looked at him with his like stupid bird hat on and was just kind of like, what? And then I don't know. I would have like been busying myself with like setting up camp and helping out, like trying to help start the fire and whatever else. And then when Girl ID comes over and just hands me the rope, she just kind of looks down at it like, oh, thank you.
Annex has started getting the wood and is firebolting with. Is trying to not like when she's trying to firebolt, she's trying to not like make the wood disappear.
I was going to say the
But
same
it's
thing
sort
as
of
well.
just-
I was legit gonna be like, I'm gonna probably be doing that.
But it's just like holding the ball of projected fire in her hand and trying to light it instead of yeeting
Hover it.
all the fucking glass, all the sticks out of the fire pit because there is impact of firebolt.
Yeah, there
If
is.
Osiris is like helping with this, like I'm assuming, I'm just gonna guess that Osiris would be doing it like the old-fashioned way, like just rubbing two sticks together.
Yep.
I would be like sitting next to you, like trying to do that at the same time because I'm trying to learn.
Meanwhile, me and NX are like got our firebolts, just like trying to burn it while not impacting it.
I
You
just wanna
come
look
around,
over
yeah,
just like,
and everyone else you come to like these 4 people just sitting around this campfire that have started. That like
None of you have a fucking tinderbox.
they
I do, but
They do.
I
They're
saw
choosing not
I
to.
saw NX and I was like, I want to do that.
I just wanted to learn how to do it.
I thought she needed help, and my first thought was, I will help with the same
I have
spell.
returned.
It's good to learn how to do things. If I didn't have my tinderbox, it'd be nice. We've got time to do it.
Did
Not
I
in
see the
any
broken
danger.
rope on your person?
Yeah.
Can I
she's
have-
just
I
given
would
a lot.
like.
No, 1 second. I would like everyone in this group
Sure.
that was there before to roll to roll history.
Damn it! I like
Except
Arcana.
Selena.
Oh.
I'll roll with advantage, sure.
I wasn't
where's my
there.
tide- Where's my tide for chaos? May as well take it. I like
Wait,
clicking
do I
this
get to
button.
roll?
Yeah, if you want to.
Oh, never mind. I didn't even need it, but I
Oh
used
my
tide to
God.
chaos anyway. Cool.
Hey,
Fuck!
might as well roll again, Christine. You might double crit.
Okay.
Wow, that's really great. That's really
First of all,
good.
roll on the table.
Not yet. He
At
hasn't told me.
least, okay. Nursing, you're just like, okay, I guess this is the best way to do magic. Osiris, Christine, you know for a fact that Selena has prestidigitation and can easily just start this fire with that. But
Yes.
has chosen not to.
No,
She's
I know
trying
that.
to learn. She's trying
I-
to rely on her magic.
AJ, here. I know that. I also have a tinderbox. Everyone who has a bedroll probably has a tinderbox. Also, I'm doing firebolt as well.
Also, I pretty
What
much
a waste
used
of
my
history.
prestidigitation to like clean things.
But I still know that the spell does that, though.
You know, at this point, I'm just not even. My head hurts too much from fucking with the chef. Here's your rope back, and I just give
The
you
other
20 feet
half
of
of the
rope.
rope.
I put myself
Give
in
me
the
the rest of my
hospital.
rope.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Did you do this?
Yes, I was fucking with her.
But it was my rope.
I'm sorry.
What happens
I
if we
give
have
you.
to climb down a cliff?
Well, if you need to climb down a cliff, do you know the mending cantrip?
I ask for the rope,
Here you go.
and I cast mending and
You
hand it
see
back.
as the two like coils of twisted rope reach out like snakes and start like eating each other, and then they all tighten back up as the rope is fixed to be 50 feet again.
I want you to know there's a very weird image in my head.
I mean, did
You
you
know
really
what?
have to do that, though, Nocian?
You know what? She just cast prestidigitation on the fire.
No,
It's
no,
a cantrip. It's
you'll never learn if you don't try.
But it's
And I
You got
put
to
the
learn
fire
to
out.
do it.
Oh, okay.
What about the fire
What
me and
me,
Anixara
right?
started in the forest?
That's not
Start
our
a
fire.
Alright,
Alright,
okay.
what happens if I'm too tired and I can't cast it?
What happens when
I have to be quiet. What happens? What happens if something happens
do
to
I
my
do?
voice and I can't cast it?
Well, would you like to try that? I can do that.
What
very
happens if I
easily.
break all my fingers and
Oh,
can no
you do
longer
not say
cast prestidigitation?
If I can't, like, if I wouldn't be able to like start a fire, then would I?
What's
Exactly.
happened if
That's
this
the
big
scenario.
scary clown came up and you
What if
couldn't
I'm
say
a
anything?
statue and I have to cast a fire? Alright, I don't have the.
Okay.
I don't have to worry about fire if I'm a statue.
Okay, let's stop being
Okay,
stupid.
Stop being stupid. Is there a watch order for the night? Because I think we're just gonna skip ahead to long rest unless there is a scene someone wants to do.
Unless one of them wants to approach me, I'll be setting up my tents, not my tent, my sleeping rolls slightly away from them.
I will take a late watch because dark vision.
I will take the latest watch because dark vision.
Okay.
I'll take
Darkest
whatever one
vision.
doesn't need dark vision.
Okay.
Given it's already pretty late, probably the first watch, the last watch then.
How
Yeah.
How
I
many
can
watches
refresh
do we
my
have again?
morsels.
Let's say 4. There's 4 watch periods.
You can
So what do we
double
got?
up.
Yeah, I was thinking of wanting just to double up with Selena anyway.
Alright, make it easy. Who's gonna go first watch?
If it's not anyone, then it's Annex. So
Okay. Annex on first watch. Second watch is gonna be Christine and Selena.
Sounds good to me.
Third watch is Nerisian. And last
Yep.
watch will be Osiris. Does Artie want to watch it all, or you just not?
I'll be preparing morsels.
do
Alright.
the thing you do into the tower, Cyrus. Alright.
Dude, that's a cool dice.
And then I want perception checks from everyone in order. So start off with girl. Yeah, start off with Annex. I want to get that done.
Mhm.
No, let me give.
Dude, imagine she gets kidnapped again at night. That'd be funny.
Wow.
Look, I'm just saying, she's not here again.
Okay, so let me roll annexes. Ba-ding-a-ding. She's super good at looking at things, you know.
Really?
Yeah, she got a 15. She looks around. Doesn't seem to be any sort of threat. She takes her 2-hour shift relatively well. Goes back to bed, cuddling the otter after waking the twins up. Not the twins, the sisters.
Eh.
Twins is another campaign.
The Twinsters.
And then I need perception checks from the both of you. And Christine, hey, roll on your tower.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, roll the table.
Roll the tape.
You use Tides of
Roll
Chaos.
on the table.
I'm trying to imagine where I would be and
This is sort
in
of you-
relation to others.
This is sort of you
Please
just
no
waking
bombs.
up, like Annex is like poking you to wake up. You're like, "Ah!" And then as you do, the Tides of Chaos goes on.
Okay, that makes more sense. Cool. Okay.
Nice
I-
context.
Family and
Fireball, level 3. Let's go. Kill your party.
Why is this one so popular? I feel like on that startle, she would probably use that, like just to sort of move herself like back, like probably like 20 feet.
Yeah, like there's a bright glow that like is waking up Selena as she's like, what's going? And you just see this bright glow as then Christine disappears and appears like 30 feet behind you.
It's like a white glow, and then it just like fades, like a bit of like almost like glowing feathers, like in
You
the
just-
spot.
you just yeeted yourself out of your own bedroll.
Yeah. What's the difference?
Then roll your perception, Selena. You're sort of just.
I did already.
Yeah, no, I was talking to Christine, but I was saying Selena with your roll. My bad, I should have phrased it better. Selena with your roll.
It's fine.
You're sort of enthralled with the concept that you might be in another plane. Don't really see anything interesting of note, but you're looking around to. Your magically inclined mind is looking around, being like, "Oh, this is interesting," but you're not
There
really
might be men up there.
looking at things.
We're in a magic mushroom room.
Magic mushroom ring.
Christine, you don't see anything peering out in the distance. Doesn't seem to be any sort of creatures looking you. You do see towards the end of your shift, you see like the eyes of a predator poking out through a bush. You see that it like walks up to the ring, sits there for like 10 minutes. It's like staring at you
What creature is it?
like a wolf. And then after like 10 minutes later, you see it tries to go through. You see like there's bats the air like where the mushrooms are. Doesn't seem to be able to go through. And then after 10 minutes, it just turns around, walks away.
I feel like as well because of like just how she's been feeling. She doesn't actually say anything. She's mostly just frozen like as this is happening, like unresponsive.
Nursing.
Yes.
You get woken up. You get told of what happened by whoever.
Yep.
And roll your check.
Okay.
Roll a perception for that. And you can do the other thing if you want to as well.
Okay. I'll do that one in here. I'll be using the mage hand for it.
It fails.
The mage hand will be invisible.
It fails.
Okay.
As you're trying to do the thing, it doesn't make a connection, and you sort of nudge Chef Galardi with your mage hand.
I'll quickly duck out of the tent.
It's not an attempt.
There's no tent.
It's just a campsite.
Yeah, Adi, you're sleeping quietly when all of a sudden you feel something like push into you, and you come awake. It wakes you up, but looking over, you don't see anything.
Mm-hmm.
Do with that what you will.
I'm just gonna, unless they've asked me to get up, I'm just going back to sleep.
All right.
Other than that, you don't really see anything in the night. And then it's Osiris and Galardi.
I guess at that point I have to get up.
It's about an hour or so later. You got woken up halfway through your shift. Like early, like stuff for you to go.
I mean, at that point as well, you would have had
Perception,
all the
right?
rest you needed.
Yeah. Osiris, when you come back, you gather the information that the Feywild is known as the Plane of Life, where wildlife and nature go highwire. It's home to many different creatures, everything from tiny sprites to hags, to living trees and spells. It's the natural home to fauns, sprites, pixies, and other like fey-like creatures. And some reports claim that time moves slower there, meaning that more time passes in the material plane than in the Feywild. That's what you.
I'll send you a written version. Unfortunately, nothing I think really new to you. It wasn't a great roll.
It is what it is.
Maybe I'll give you a little bit. The one thing you know is that it's claimed to run 10 times faster than the material plane.
Oh my god.
So one day there is
10 days in the
10
material
days.
plane.
Holy fuck. That's if we even are in the Feywild. Question mark.
But with that, you're sort of just overthinking everything that you just learnt. Not really necessarily looking out in Girl ID. Nothing seems to be attacking as the Turtle Man seems to be busy.
Oh,
Like
that-
he's like half making breakfast for everyone, half thinking about something that's going on. Eventually, you'll wake up as the light starts opening. It's probably around 8 a.m. It is potentially the 13th. The first
Who
time
knows?
the 13th.
Question mark. Ooh. For all you know. Did whose birthday's come out? We may miss it.
You missed our birthday already, but
Yeah,
it wasn't
we
there to
already
begin with.
So, real shame.
As you all wake up, eat, are there any scenes you want to do before moving?
I'm good. I would like to point out that maybe we should probably follow where the cart traps went.
Speaking of those contracts, are they still around?
Yeah,
Good point.
they're still there.
Yeah. You're able to find the tracks again.
Now that you knew where they were, it's very easy to point out.
I feel like they would probably know better than anyone else I know how to maybe get out of
For
here.
the people we
But
met,
did
they
they
didn't
know,
seem
though?
like they had a real path in life.
They were
were-
interesting, but they
They were wise.
did
shamans.
seem to freely pass through the
But
forest.
didn't they specifically said though that they don't know how to navigate the forest?
They know better than us. I'd prefer to follow cart tracks than just walk blindly into the forest.
Then just
So that's
keep
what you guys
eyes
gonna
on
do?
it.
Wait, are we... Question.
Hmm?
Are we trying to get our way back to town, or are we trying to get our way to your thing, Selena?
No, as much as I'd like to do the trial, I think it might be a little risky trying to go in deeper to the forest. That's something that I could do later.
I mean, for all we
Perhaps
know,
when I'm
we are
stronger.
deep in the forest though. That's the problem.
I tried to meditate. I feel like if I'd been able to pick up on it, it would have been good, but this is not important right now. This is something that I can come back to later when we're stronger.
Alright, time to drop a ration, because I gotta remember to do that.
Feels
Oh,
like
yeah,
this
sure,
forest is some
thanks.
sort of labyrinth.
Yeah, everyone drop a ration.
Yeah, I completely forgot. Thank you.
I mean, sure, if we find it, it would be great, but again, like, it does seem to be, out of the trials that I know of, it does seem to be one of the riskier ones.
It's alright, you have a god on your side.
I still have no idea what these trials you keep referring to are about.
Well, it's like I said before, they're Divination trials. It's a rather old religion, but it's sort of like a pilgrimage.
Well, once everyone's packed up, I guess we'll just be on our way.
Yep.
Okay, who's leading the group?
Do you want to press? Do you want to press?
I
along?
will,
I will.
Osiris?
Cyrus
I
is
would
leading
like to follow up with Osiris. I'd like to have a discussion with him.
it. Yeah,
I'll say at this
Osiris,
side,
roll.
Nerisian's not.
Osiris, roll a d20 to the tower.
As you head off, following these tracks into the forest.
Ooh, interesting.
Do you want to
yeah,
press
well,
long rest as well?
yeah, we'll press
Just
on this.
so-
We're
yeah.
gonna take a break here, though.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Okay.
That sounds like a combat building encounter.
Oh, it must have been a good roll, Osiris. We're gonna take a break before we enter the temple.
Swell.
So, yeah, we'll be back in a little bit. 5 minutes tops. 5-10 minutes tops. Go get drinks, go to the toilet, get everything you want to get done. I'm quickly gonna go, and I'll be back very soonish. So if you've got questions, someone might be here to answer them. Otherwise, wait till I get back.
I'll answer for a few minutes and then I'll go do stuff.
Everybody, welcome to the halftime show. My name is Noxskyfall, and I'm here. Osiris, how do you think you went this session so far?
Yep.
Any new strategies the coach might be, pushing you away to do?
I gotta respect Demi's ability to roll a 16 twice in a row. That nearly screwed me.
Get a chat up. Just
That
in case.
17, though.
Yeah, and I have fucking +9. Yeah, that's
It's
that
amazing
16 helped you a lot.
It's amazing how insight's one of my skills.
I just realized you have a +5 to fucking charisma. Jesus
Mira?
Christ, you're
Yeah, I
charismatic.
do.
Mira's boots a cat. If so, pictures.
Nerisian. That's the thing. Like, I start off with.
No,
Because
not
I
you.
had-
Chef Girl ID.
Oh, anyway, I think like 2 people. What happened there? What the fuck?
Click the thing. but-
Yeah, no, as I think I've said our character before, this character is not a combat-based character on their story. They are very much more of the diplomatic sort.
We have 4 charisma casters.
Good
Yeah, I was just
kitty.
about to say, I've got 20 charisma.
Best kitty.
No,
Must
I
be nice
think you
having an
have
even
what?
number.
No, you
Oh,
have
please.
How's
3
your
charisma
like 19
casters,
fitting you?
1 intelligence caster, and 1 constitution caster.
Constitution caster.
Chef.
What?
That's constitution.
So you had to get the punch caster.
Oh,
Yeah,
right, I
that-
do
yeah.
have con DCs. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I actually forgot about that.
Your DC's a 12.
Yeah, it's not very high, believe it or not.
I mean, 15 is my DC, and that's with a +5.
It's
so-
the usual. It's, A plus con plus proficiency, so...
Yeah.
I like how my character is so smart, yet I still like to feel the need to play him stupid. Because it's just funny.
It's infuriating sometimes.
I mean, it provides the other person with a false sense of security and,
Yeah, no.
it's another
With what
You,
happened there,
you
like,
think I have security when Nerisian's around?
my plan wasn't
That's
going to
cute.
change whether you followed me or not. It's just whether you were listening in was what made the difference.
Darian, I've added the bird's nest into my inventory.
Why did you take the fuck? I don't know what to say.
I've got 2 bird traps, a belt, 2
Right,
bits of an
right.
iron ingot, 6 to 7 rusted
Look,
nails.
I can't fault you
a
because
lump
you
of
did
iron.
follow my request. You did exactly what I asked you. You didn't take the eggs.
I took.
Egg on branch.
You just took their home.
Yeah.
And
Hey,
I,
I could have been that guy.
An
I could
actual
have been.
branch.
I could have been that guy. I could have been the mockingbird, and just be the asshole of the bird group, where you just leave the eggs in someone else's nest, and if they kick out your eggs from the nest, you destroy their entire nest. So next time they learn to just deal with it.
Let's just hope the bird that laid those eggs doesn't come after you.
Yeah, it probably will.
Because washing
It
off the
tastes
scent
delicious.
is probably not going to be easy.
Hey, look, I think the dragon will find us first. And that is scary, because I want to kill it.
So how are you guys how are you guys enjoying being lost in the forest?
I'll be right back.
Sucks.
Look, I am half tempted to just stand around and listen for a
I'm also back.
indescript melody from a old video game and then follow the noise out.
Too bad there's more than 4 directions.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
360 degrees you can head.
Hold on. There's not up, down, left, and right?
Yeah.
Oh,
There's also in and out.
Wait.
It's
It would be more than 360, wouldn't it?
360 horizontal, then 180 vertical.
that. Big number.
Amira, much appreciated. Good kitty.
Did you just... Did you...
French.
Did you just make that?
No, that's old.
Egg on branch.
Bad meme groups on Facebook.
Egg on branch.
This one's been floating around the bad meme groups.
Why?
It's the ultimate divinity!
Egg on branch.
Just make it someone else's problem.
I like to make it someone else's problem, honestly.
It's just, they lay an egg on a branch, like, where's the nest? Like, there is a nest. Oh, wow!
What is wrong with you?
I still like bird condominiums because Quakers do that as well, and it's fucking adorable.
Yeah, they're actually a natural pest in North America. Because of it.
Did I get my book?
The condominium or the quack?
Yes.
Quaker parrots make like weird bird condominium things.
Yeah, but are they the natural threat or are the birds? This is what I'm asking.
They're a pest in North America because they make those things like everywhere.
Oh wait, I picked 2.
It's like a massive bird hive.
I'm gonna put it on the
Yeah, dude, I can't wait until I can use my channel divinity. Oh wait, shit.
Oh yeah, channel divinity rebuke undead. What undead?
No, I want to use Divination
Channel
Spell.
divinity rebuke depression. I'm sorry, you have to not be depressed.
Look,
for
I'm a
that.
level 1 cleric. I should be allowed divine intervention on a 1.
My favorite channel divinity is Vow Enemy because that's just fuck you on a stick.
Yeah, it's just fuck you and fuck you more.
I will
Damn.
cut you, and you'll wish I'll never cut you so much.
I'll cut you off so bad that you wish I never cut you off so bad. Some bad roaches. I blame the schools.
But like also war domain is just like no, I hit. Fuck you. I miss the attack. No, I
Guided
don't think I
strike
do.
is OP.
I don't think I miss, guys. I think I hit.
Channel divinity, that's a crit now. Channel divinity, that's not a crit now.
Path of the Grave is fantastic.
No, that's fucked.
Hello,
I think that's why
you are
I put-
vulnerable. Hello, you're vulnerable now? I'm sorry, are you a rogue? The rogue vulnerable you? Oh, I'm bad. I apologize. I shouldn't have done that. The
Oh,
vulnerable?
I'm sorry, was that a crit on top of
Proceed
the
to do it
vulnerable I
again.
gave you?
I mean,
Oh,
there's
man,
literally a
jeez.
reason. There's literally a reason why in Curse of Strahd I took 2 levels in cleric specifically, like just for that. Like,
Which
give
he
me that.
nerds hasn't ticked.
I ticked.
I think Sam,
Look,
and
I
I
can
think
cross.
someone else.
I crossed,
I think
and
Darren.
I'm blank.
It ain't me.
I ticked. AJ, have you ticked?
I have not ticked.
Okay,
Then tick.
Then it's Sam.
When Sam's back, we'll be able to keep going.
Yeah, like that's literally
Way to
why.
go, Kim. Not ticking.
That's literally why, like, even though I had paladin levels, that's why I took 2 levels in cleric. Is literally just for path. Like,
Any
it's
number of
great.
levels in Cleric is worth it. Cleric is fucking great.
Well, I just mainly wanted the domain, like.
Same as
Kind of
Fighter.
in,
You
yeah.
can Fighter can go 2 levels, you're set for life. Like you don't even need sub.
Yeah.
You fuck subclass fighters. You just need action surge and second wind. They're just helpful.
Stop making me
If you-
rethink about going fighter if my wax player.
If you really want to go 3rd level in Fighter, boom, you pick Champion, you get a crit on a 19.
That's what I'm doing for
Rune
my.
Knight and get big.
That's what I'm doing for my monk.
Not enough level 3.
That's
Dude,
what I'm doing
Rune
for
Knight
my-
is ridiculous.
Bargain.
The amount of times you can proc the Rune Knight ability, and the fact that multiple can proc simultaneously.
Yeah, it's a lot
You
of fun.
you can. I'm pretty sure. I don't think we have a caster in my Baldur's Gate game, but Jeremy's playing a Rune Knight Leonin, and I was like, if you had someone with some knowledge, like that stacks. So.
I mean,
Oh my god, it does, yeah.
you do have a caster in your game. His name is Lockie, the Death Domain
Yeah,
Cleric.
but Loki, the
Right,
Death
well,
Domain Cleric, Grave Domain Cleric, first of all, does not have the
Yeah.
enlarged spell, which is what I was
Alright.
talking about. Alright.
So, we're all back here.
We'll do.
Hang on a second.
This is why we take off. Let's do the thing. Why take off then leave?
Oh my
God
fucking
damn it.
god!
It's
So
not me this
anyway,
time.
going back to fighter
not.
subclasses, like Arcane Archer, right? That's pretty good.
Leave now.
What do you mean?
Just play a ranger.
No, but what if you did Arcane Archer with a Hexblade Warlock? I'm just saying.
Well, Dimitri asked yesterday on stream what's everyone's favorite class and or subclass.
Are we
So,
bringing
Yes,
it
that's me.
uh, The four of us answered yesterday on stream, so if you two have answers for yourselves, feel free to talk about it for a little bit.
Favorite class.
Yeah, and
And-
subclass.
And subclass.
It
They
doesn't-
don't,
have to be the same class.
they're mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
And up there for me yesterday, I was like, I didn't really have a class because I liked most of them, but I had Path of the Grave and Battle Master. They're some like just great playing.
Yeah, I recall my answer to his question was, I think it was Ranger, but I could not answer the subclass. That's the only part I struggled with.
I like mine. It was cleric for class and warlock for subclass because it should never be a full class. It should always be a sub, like a multi-class. It's my
Don't look at me
opinion.
like that.
I'm looking at you like that.
Don't look at me like that. My fifth
We're all
level
looking at you
Hexblade
like that,
Warlock
like
is
you.
fine. There's nothing wrong with my Hexblade Warlock. She's pretty.
We'll see if Jeremy has an answer, and then we'll jump back in.
Yeah, nah, I gotta probably be biased and say favorite class is Warlock by itself.
Yep.
I was having
Nice.
a lot of fun with Eclipse in Dimitri's campaign.
You Eclipse is a good character.
Yeah.
What about fuck, what was his name? Drossard?
That's,
Droxel
oh well,
was a super.
it was a Warlock that had multi-classed into basically another
Oh,
Warlock.
Spirit, right? I forgot.
Spiritualist
Yeah.
was a lot of like Spiritualist is Warlock, but like more, which is what you think you want your Warlock to be more, but you really don't.
But you don't. You really don't.
Spiritualist was so much effort on Jeremy's part, just being like, I have 5 ghosts that have different spells each, and I can only cast these spells.
You poor fucker.
First campaign,
I
did it to
swear.
myself.
You did. Oh,
No,
you
but,
did.
we'll jump back in now.
Assuming the
I'm gonna
Lich's
pick a
will
hunter
change, I'm still
class.
gonna have to deal with a spiritualist.
Right. Back up. So we'll have a quick scene before Narissian has a quick scene where Annex, I've already asked him if this is okay. Annex will pull over to the side to Osiris and would ask for Chef Galadé to approach. And basically, she's like, I was talking to my friend, and she like brings out the staff that she picked up recently.
Oh.
And he said that there's something in the forest that we should deal with. I think he said there was a fiend here, and it might help us if we do it.
Wait, was I called over? Is that what you said? Sorry.
This is to Chef and to Osiris.
What sort of fiend?
He didn't really say.
And was there an instruction to release it? Kill it?
It says it was chaining something important, and we should make sure that the important thing is not chained anymore.
I know about chains.
That sounds like a bad idea, but also, if this is a different plane of existence, I have zero commitment to this place.
Well, I can't say I know much about whoever told you this info, but I assume they'd be powerful enough if they knew something was in here, so maybe their word's worth trusting here.
Okay, I just thought you two ought to know. I'll
Something
see,
to keep in mind.
I'll see if I want to tell the others later. But for
When I
now,
get
just
back.
keep it down.
You have a way to find it? This is a big place.
I don't know. He didn't tell me where. I can ask him later.
Well, we'll be mindful of a massive fiend, did you say? In the middle of this forest.
Yeah. Alright, well, that's all I wanted to say. She sort of just goes back to playing with little Vorlane.
Huh. This group is an interesting group.
And then Mercy wanted to say something?
Yes, hi. Osiris?
Yes.
Oh, wait, Chef Girl Lady, what the fuck are you still doing here? Fuck off, please. Yeah, go.
So kind.
Appreciate the privacy.
Yeah, I will head back like I was already planning to do.
Yeah, hey, listen, man, can I talk to you about something a little bit more underlying?
Yes.
I'm gonna say this very quietly so that no one else can hear.
Damn.
Actually, I'm gonna point to my head so that he could get the gist of what I'm trying to say. If Osiris can still do that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Really? Alright.
Yeah.
I will cast Detect Thoughts on Nerisian.
I willingly fail.
All right, yeah, you fail. So you get all of the surface thoughts in Nerisian. What are your surface thoughts?
I will type them to him.
All right, fair. So while they're typing, I'll say y'all are walking through the forest, following the cart tracks. For a while, they seem to meander this way and that between different, through strange paths that, always somehow slightly wide enough for a cart, though they don't seem to follow any logical rhyme or reason. Sometimes it seems to, almost double back on itself and then, change in a random direction. There's one point where you're walking and it turns right and you follow it, and it turns right and you keep following, turns right again. And then after about 5 more minutes, it turns right a fourth time, and you keep walking, but you never seem to pass the tracks that you were following earlier.
It's an endless
Oh, God.
forest. This is some amazing sorcery, but
Have you finished typing, Dewey?
Almost.
Okay, I'll keep talking then. You're going along. As you're walking, you start to notice this weird kind of smell to the air. As you hear less and less of that bird song in the distance, you don't really hear the rustling of as much of animals around. And then you kind of come to a rather unfortunate stop when you're walking and you're following these tracks, and then they just stop. Tracks are just gone. They pass between two trees, and you look around them, and there's just no tracks on the other side of those trees. Yeah.
you said the smell in the air changed. I could not possibly recognize that, could I?
You can just roll a nature check. That's 20. It smells like fetid water and kind of like a little bit of decay.
Oh, great.
Oh, that's a pleasant smell. I imagine I haven't smelled that for a while, but decay is something I'm probably used to because of dead animals.
We'll give them back, hand it back to Nerisian and Osiris for them to finish their thing if there's more they want to say.
And that's when I slit his throat. Oh, well, what the fuck is that smell?
As you, are you going to say anything in response to Cyrus, or?
No, just nod my head.
Okay, then yeah. So you guys come to this sudden end of the tracks. What do you do?
So, it smells like decay?
You can you just smell like a musk, like a damp smell to the air. It's a bit more humid here.
As you
But-
as you're looking forward though, the trees seem to be a lot less condensed. Like it's still condensed, but there's you notice that it's from 100% to probably about 80% now.
More
Well,
to
then
traverse.
I'll scout ahead further. I think I might know what this is. Hopefully I am wrong.
Do
Really
people
should
let him
split
scout
up.
ahead, given what happened last time?
Please let him scout ahead.
I'll be
I
about
don't
six-
respond. I don't
60
respond.
feet ahead.
At least take some rope.
If
You
I
take
bring a rope, it might get melted. if I think this is what it is.
So you go ahead by yourself without a rope, Dimitri?
Yep, I will leave
Okay.
a reticle of
Do you-
minor illusion.
Okay, you start moving forward. You pass a bit of ways. Everyone can still 60 feet's not too far. You can still see him through the trees. But Nerisian, as you're walking, you step through like a very dense section of underbrush, which seems like thistles and like thorn bush and stuff, and you push through, and as you burst to the other side, beyond you lies a massive swamp.
Oh,
A very dark grounds. You can smell the fetid water. You see bubbling in the pools nearby. It's a strange sight because standing on the border, you look to your right and you see a vibrant forest, and you look to your left and you see this like fetid, decaying swamp.
Okay. I'm gonna.
Oh, sorry. You look around, you see from behind you like large, strong oak trees, and back you see mangroves growing from the murky, muddy water, like on stilts, like they usually grow, like above the water.
Would I be able to assume that
Yes.
we are in the festering mire?
you can assume.
You can assume.
You can assume whatever you want.
I'm gonna walk back. Alright,
Yep.
so three possibilities. Firstly, Black Dragon Lair. Second, the Festering Mire. Third, both.
Well, that's just great.
This does, however, mean that you can make the assumption you're not in the Feywild anymore.
Which is good.
And we could kind of maybe skirt
Skirt.
along the outskirts of it, and we've got a 50-50 chance of going in the right direction.
Well, I mean, if the forest is behind us, surely if we head like westwards from where we are, like we would skirt back towards Gizline itself, right? From how the maps have shown this place.
Yeah, you'd assume.
I'm thinking west. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess it's, it could. Situation could be worse. At least we've found something that we could possibly say is a landmark. It stinks.
I'm gonna put my gas mask on.
It may smell, but that smell may be stronger than what we smell like, which is...
It might not be the smell I'm putting it on for, could be poison.
And I'm
Uh,
saying that the smell might be enough to hide our own scent.
I was about to say, I guess you mean we're masking our scent.
Yeah.
Unless the creatures in the swamp are used to that smell.
Yeah.
Well, I guess if we do just travel along the outskirts, this is somewhat a blessing in disguise.
Hmm.
Would I have any idea what would reside in the festering mire? As in, like, fauna, right?
Roll a
Fauna-wise.
nature check with disadvantage, and then everyone else can roll me a history check if you
Ah,
want
cool.
to.
Yeah.
Sure.
I
I'll
Disadvantage?
take the 9.
I'll take history.
No,
sure.
no disadvantage, just flat.
There is still one problem, though. We still don't have an explanation for how we lost where we entered originally.
Forest is magical.
They said
Just-
the plane. They said that the planes collapsing on themselves creates these almost like instances of like I want to say wild magic, but not exactly that. It's unstable.
I guess it could mean that we could accidentally step into one of these again if we're not careful.
Dimitri, from your research of looking in notebooks, you can assume that there is a large black dragon. You know that there's probably a large black dragon in the Festering Mire, and that's about it.
Yeah, you don't really know much about the Maya. Sure, there are parts of it that are pretty similar to the Concordant, but other than that, it's like wetlands are different to a swamp. And then the reason you really know there's a large black dragon here is because everyone would probably know of the tale of when fucking...
You literally heard yesterday that there's a large black dragon in the...
Yeah, that too. Forgot they mentioned that literally yesterday.
Yeah, they did.
Speaking of literally yesterday, Osiris and Christine, you remember as we were traveling from the land bridge that the part of the track that went north upwards towards the swamp did not go that far. There will not be a track from the land bridge to the Maya. As far as you're concerned, you can still...
The only way to get back then would be through water.
You can try and do that. You can try and do what you're doing, but you won't be able to find out for sure. Is all we're gonna let you know about that.
Once she realizes that, she'd cut herself off, and be like, I mean, no, that's actually... No, we won't be able to skirt across it. We'd have to go back in. Unless anyone had a way across the water, but then we have to go through the Maya, and like we have to. I don't really want to go through the Maya.
Neither do I. Not with, dragons and all.
Look, if it's dragons that we're dealing with, well, you're dealing with one in your party already, so...
I feel like this one might be a slight bit bigger. And angrier, perhaps.
And more
Yeah,
threatening.
possibly. Actually, probably could be more friendly, yeah. You keep forgetting that sometimes people barter with dragons for passage.
I'm gonna let that comment slide.
I
Hey,
said...
look, I'm not gonna lie, my people used to serve them.
So you should be familiar with the colours and what they represent.
Oh yes, black is just fucking god-awful.
So what you're saying, what you just said, means nothing.
No, it means everything. It means we know what we're up against.
No, before you said it was black.
Yes, it's black. It'd be a black dragon.
how it could be, friendly and all that. No, that's wrong. Then.
No, you can still barter with it. It's just, it's a god-awful dragon to come across.
And what would we have that the dragon would want?
We could offer up him as a snack.
No, wouldn't work.
Frankly, I think it would Narisian be the only one it would tolerate.
Yeah. Kobolds and dragons.
Yeah, fair. He's more of a toothpick.
Not enough bone to meat ratio.
So our
If
options
anything, they'd
are
ask for
Maya
us
or
more.
water, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if we can get close enough to the ocean.
Or going backwards.
We can't really, how are we planning even crossing the ocean?
We're not going to cross the ocean. We're going to skirt around the swamp until we hit back where we
The
found
forest.
ourselves. Yes.
So following the coast is what you're saying.
Yes.
But if we go follow the forest to the coast, there's still forest to go through to get back to where we came from.
Yes,
Unless
but
you want to swim.
No, we
There
lost
must be-
us. We
there must
lost
be
us. Okay.
One
You
of
go.
them.
Sorry, Selena, but we lost ourselves in the forest. If we get back in there, I guarantee you, we might get lost again, and this time we're gonna end up somewhere even worse.
So we stay in the festering mire.
We stay where we know where it is dangerous.
I'm assuming forests have coastlines as well.
Yes, we're going to go into the festering mire. We're going to go to the coastline. We're going to go down, and we're going to go back to Tide's Favor via the festering mire and the Great Forest Coast.
I don't speak anymore.
I understand your hesitance to this, but I would rather know where I'm going than
Make an
walking in
insight check.
circles.
Make an insight check on saying that.
Was this... One question. So this was Dimitri scouting 60 feet and then coming back?
Yeah.
Okay.
I assume so, yeah.
Yeah, this was
no,
me
we're
scouting
back
60 feet at the beginning of the session on the top of a fucking tree line and still couldn't find the fucking way back.
Yeah, no, nothing. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, no worries. It is okay, Christine. You've got a dragon on your side. I'll protect you. I promised.
Our other alternative is heading deeper into the forest and hoping for the best.
Where there might be something even more volatile.
Like a green dragon, maybe, to represent the color of the trees.
No, they probably live somewhere else. It's not their pot of tea.
It was a joke.
Well, I'm not too keen about going into the mire, but if we follow the outskirts, I feel like that might be the safest option. And then the coastline's gotta be less dense than the forest itself.
Yes, that is what I'm saying. I'd rather go to somewhere where we know what we're up against, rather than some unknown quantity of magical fuckery that will inevitably end up in someone's demise. Possibly mine.
I'm with the coastline then.
Alright, to make it easy, are you guys going back towards the swamp, or are you going back into the forest?
I go where the party goes.
Honestly, we don't have to like step directly into the forest as long as we keep. The forest, the
Swamp.
mire. We really only have to walk along the outskirts of it so we can see.
Yeah, but so you guys heading that way, or are you guys turning back and going deeper into the forest?
Depends
I
what
assume it's
everyone else
small.
wants.
I will look at NX, just sort of with a nod to see how she would react.
She shrugs.
Yeah, she shrugs. Like, we can roll insight if you want.
She really wants to go back in there.
Sure.
You know, from what she told you, like, she would want to do that. Like, she told you like she wants to be in the forest, but she's not really willing to tell anyone else that at the moment.
Well, look, I'll agree on the coast, because at least then we can probably get a better view of the sun and get a better bearing. At least then we can pick a proper direction and head it.
Okay. If everyone wants to go that way, we can go that way.
Let's assume the sun's still up by the time we find it.
So you're all moving towards the short walk towards the swamp?
Yep.
Cyrus?
I think no matter what we do, we're screwed.
Yes, I wholeheartedly agree with that. I'm just saying the devil we know is better than the devil we don't. And I don't know what's in there, whereas I know roughly what could be in here.
One
Yeah,
of the
nah,
things.
fuck any sort of dragon.
Also, the moisture might be good for your skin and your shell. It's looking a little dusty.
What's new, someone that fucked a dragon?
Oh, you be careful what you say.
As
I shake some dirt off my fucking black scales.
as Nerisian starts leading the group.
Yep.
You move as far as you did last time, and there's no brambles. There's no thick grass. The density of the forest returns back to what it's been for the start of the day.
That's a sign.
There is
The swamp.
no swamp anymore.
That is
What?
if.
Oh.
Yeah, the
I'm
second.
assuming the smells are gone.
Yeah, you start to sniff the air. It smells just like it did before. I'll say for Nersian, the second you return to the party, you couldn't go back to the swamp.
I'm surprised you'll even return.
Well,
Yeah, you're wandering now
Very,
through.
not swamp looking swamp.
I would like everyone to perception.
Sure.
As Dimitri has this rage fit. fit
Nerisian is just going to minor illusion a dragon roar out of his fucking mouth
oh no.
so as to
I have.
dissuade anybody from coming near him.
it's the same as you casting Thaumaturgy, because you haven't heard a dragon roar before, but you cast.
Yes, we have.
What dragon?
Red dragon.
Didn't roll.
Didn't roll, just flew. You just speak in loud Nerisian voice. As everyone else starts to look around, Selena,
Just me. Twice.
Just Selena.
you see, there's been an increase in this light fuzzy thing covering the trees every so often, like large
White
nets.
Fuzzy thing. Oh.
I fucking hate spiders.
The Neurosian maybe not so loud. There's some stuff in the trees that doesn't look very good.
And you-
I don't care anymore.
You're
Just
seeing
get out
quiet!
of the fucking forest.
And you start hearing just some grunting.
Oh
Magic,
god.
magic spiders, magic spiders, magic spiders.
Ah, please, if anything, it's gonna be one of those Luroshes with just a fucking goddamn spider.
At this point, I'm just gonna just prepare for combat.
Nerisian is too angry.
Just looking around, to see if I can see anything at all.
Following...
You hear the sound. You don't
Yeah.
particularly you don't see anything yet. Do you move towards the sound or do you? Stay
No,
where you
I'm
are?
staying with the group. I'm just keeping an ear out to see if
How
Should we
how
turn
high
back?
up are those webs? Or potential webs if they are spiders?
They're periodically, they're covering most of the smaller trees, most of the 40-foot ones. None of the
Okay.
large ones. The large ones are getting some of the branches. You also see those little sack things that were in Skyrim, the large egg little oval things are on the ground. There seems to be a few of them as
maybe
well.
we should just slowly move back.
That sounds like a good idea.
I don't know about anyone else, but I kind of want to go in.
No.
I don't know if that's such a
I'm
good
fine
idea.
with going in. I'd rather get this over and fucking done with now.
Sorry, please, no, please.
Scatter!
Who are you calling, you little shit?
How has he not gotten you all killed yet?
You all heard that,
Simple.
by the way.
I'm a
that's the-
fucking dragon. Deal with it, but
Scatter? Is that meant to be some kind of language?
Is it?
Or is it just scatter?
You don't know what it is.
Common Dwarvish
Are we
German,
continually moving back or what?
Well, it depends. What are you all doing?
Yeah.
Did it
I-
sound like the yell emanated from a great distance, or was it relatively close?
From where the grunting was coming from, relatively close.
backing up.
Would you say about more than 30 feet?
Probably around 60 to 100.
Backing up.
Yeah, slowly backing up, trying to be quiet.
I will drop silence on us as we back up to make as little noise as possible.
Okay.
I want to learn that spell.
That's a good
As
idea.
you do
I
so,
would like to stealth.
everyone roll stealth and then perception if you want to.
Any benefits from silence or not really?
Oh, please.
I guess advantage.
That's why I waited and asked. Natural 20.
Nice.
And then perception. A 2. That makes sense.
Oh,
Duality.
fuck you, Gag.
Do you want to use this inspiration I apparently have?
No, I've got one and I'm not even going to use it because it's just going to be another fucking one.
Hey, do you want? Look, if I could, I would have
Do
given
it.
you my
Do
types of
it.
chaos, but I
Tempeh.
can't do
Get the
that.
triple nat one.
What are the chances?
It's
1 in
you,
200.
Osiris.
Osiris, you step on a branch, but there's no sound. But there's no tree foliage covering you as you step on this branch. You're sort of just stepping on a branch. You look around, it's like, huh, I stepped on a branch. That didn't make a sound. Wait a minute, this isn't going on. But you're in the middle of an open field as you say this. Everyone else,
Which nobody hears.
yeah, which no one hears.
Yeah, it's like you step on a branch, like, oh, wait a minute, and you look around, it's like, oh wait, I'm still in the open.
No, it's not. He's still in the open. He looks around and realizes he's in the open. No one else is.
Everyone else is
Oh,
pretty. Everyone else is pretty hidden. Nerisian and Nerisian. You notice in one of those little egg-like bundle things, like half absorbed by the web, there seems to be a hunched-over figure trying to cut some webbing off his hooves.
Hunched over figure. How tall?
About 4
5
to
foot
5
something.
feet. Yeah.
Alright. I'll walk over.
Mochi! Ini Pikiva! I want everyone roll initiative. As large spiders start coming down from the trees.
Yeah, of
We're
course
in
I go
silence.
first.
I didn't hear
nah,
anything.
nah, this is bullshit. You guys see this?
See what? Oh my god!
Dude, are you okay? Do you need help?
Triple disadvantage. Let's go.
Are you okay, my dude? Do you actually need help?
Hang on, what?
Evidently.
I just noticed it then.
Oh, I don't like that. Why are there so many?
As you start walking closer and everything, you hear this coming out. Well, you don't hear it. You actually see. You just see this thing. You see this satyr now that you can tell is screaming at you something. As these 4 large spiders come down from the trees, and these 2 little half spider, half man things also just swing down like Tarzan.
Would you say Spider-Man?
No, man spider.
Aragogs. No.
Oh, Demetrio.
Hey. That's me.
No, it's not.
His name is me.
Oh, dude, he's got mad at this nice boy.
Let me get.
He's a satyr. He has it.
Yeah, I know. I fucking know.
Tip top of the order is Aragog, number 4.
No.
What? Okay.
Aragog number 4 skitters out of the tree and starts making his way towards the group. Make sure he's actually in a square.
Times like this, I wish
Yeah,
it took
okay,
to
actually,
spell.
so that was a square. Alright, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That here. Just make sure he's... that one. Okay.
We on squares?
Yeah, I think we're in squares. Yeah, it's all good. Make sure you are in squares.
I cannot tell.
Alright.
I
Then
think I
Aragog
am.
2 is
I think
making
Osiris
his
is
way-
on a square. Anaxari is on a square.
Oh shit.
I think
I
I'm
just
not.
realized something.
2,
What?
3,
Silence.
4.
Oh yeah, he's right.
Yeah, around a certain range, none of you can cast any spells right now that require verbal components.
So basically all the spells.
So walks
Especially for the
over to
bard.
you, goes to bite Nerisium,
Oh wait, I have a spell.
misses. That's his turn, Nerisium. What is the silence radius?
20 foot, I think.
Yep.
I'll get up to double check though. I believe 20 foot.
100.
Then I would heal.
It's about that big.
Oh, cool.
I
That's
don't know
interesting.
where it was though.
Did you cast it on a weapon or yourself?
Or just on
That's at a
score.
point, isn't it?
Silence can be.
It's a point you choose within range.
Yeah, I said on a point in range. So wherever you wanted to put it.
You would have put it probably as we were walking back to like our footprints, so it would probably be a bit further forward, most likely.
As you guys are walking backwards away from the area, if you want to, you can be on the very edge of it now. So like,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah, I
stopped.
wanted to put it where we were before we walked back.
Probably just put it so that way you're on the very edge of it or something like that.
But that's totally up to you guys, wherever you just want to put it.
I mean, it's your spell.
Just to make it easy, if anyone takes a 5-foot step away from Osiris, you are outside of the range.
Okay.
There you go. That's the rule I'm gonna do for this one. So Nerisium, it's your turn.
So I can cast spells.
Yeah, you're outside of the fight. You're outside of the ranges from where you are by nature.
Okay.
And AJ, I think yeah, if you call you did.
Bonus action. Disengage.
Imagine
Okay. Let's see. $45. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. Action. Mage hand. I'm gonna try and help him cut the rope off.
And you do that. Your mage hand legerdman, I don't know if you can cut things.
You can use your action to control the hand. You use your action to manipulate an object. Unlock unlock door container, store or retrieve an item from open container, pull the contents out of a vial, can move up to 30 feet with the hand. I can use it as a bonus action to move and do stuff as well.
Well, you already used your bonus
If it's
action to
manipulating it,
disengage.
yeah, I'm
Yeah,
using my
that's okay.
action to cast it.
I will say you can use your action. It doesn't say you can use the help action through the mage hand.
It says I can manipulate an object. I would like to try and rip the webbing off.
Sure, roll an
Okay.
intelligence check.
That's it. With I'd say roll strength check, or just a d20 because it can only move about 10 pounds of material.
Yeah.
So it's incredibly weak. Just roll a d20.
As you pull at it, you seem to like try and sketch the things. It doesn't seem to make any like solid grip on one. Doesn't really think it's more like congealing against the hand, which disappears at the end of your turn.
It's duration a minute.
Well, then it's congealing at the hand. It's staying there for a minute.
That's 15 feet of movement. I'm a walk 1, 2, 3, and I should. How far? Oh, 40? No. I'll have to be about. I have to be within 30 feet of the hand in order to do shit with it.
Cool. So that's your turn.
So that.
All right.
Man
Man Spider 1.
Damn.
Man Spider 1. So walk up 1. Is Man Spider 1 in a square? Yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Over here, and he'll start like doing stuff with his thorax, and then start spinning it and throwing something at you. Kacha. You miss as this large like web starts like trying to encase you. You dodge backwards a little bit and lands on the ground in front of you. Christine, you're up. An axe is on deck.
So one quick question I have, with the stealth before, am I still like hidden from these creatures or in some way, or does it seem like they know where I am?
As far as you know, they wouldn't.
Okay, just curious on that. If like any of like what looks towards me. In that case, I'm probably going to keep. What I want to do. I think I want to try to keep myself a little bit hidden along the trees. I don't want to move forward. She doesn't want to move forward. Never mind. I'm actually going to take a prey, and I'm going to cast Firebolt for now. And I'm going to... I got a quick question. This is for my own knowledge, because I don't know anything. Does fire, like, burn webs?
Potentially.
Okay, that's something I don't know. In that case, then, I'm going to... Anyone with basically in range. I'm going to attack one of these smaller spider-like abominations with a firebolt. Am I considered to be surprised in this creature, yay or nay? It's up to you.
No.
Nope, cool. Just checking so they probably see me. Mother of absolute. Am I gonna use it? No, I'm not gonna use it this turn. That's
Do
annoying.
it two more times in a row and then complain to me.
Okay, fine. I'll tide to chaos.
Right.
And I'll attack again. 19
you hit.
See ya.
for 5 fire damage.
Do 5 damage to the man spider.
And like with movement, I'm just going to back up like 5-10 feet. And that will be my turn. I'm not going to bonus action to use.
Okay. Aragog 3.
Not
Well.
Aragog 3.
Yeet his own web at Nerisian. And hit.
Oh no.
Nerisian.
So Nerisian is now restrained.
You are restrained. Since you're covered in sticky white thing.
Oh no, not sticky white thing.
Annex your turn. Selena, you're on deck.
Alright, Annex is going to move up 30 feet. And then
Spiders
she's
are
going to
really
cast, she's going to use her Armor of Shadows. That's her turn.
Okay. Selena, you're up. Girl idea.
I'm
you're
going to
on
do
deck.
something fairly similar. I'm going to move up out of this range. Can I actually get out if I head up? Because I can't see it.
Yeah, if you just move 5 feet, you're out of the range.
Yeah, but that's 5 feet towards the spiders.
I was saying, if you move 5 feet in any direction, doesn't matter, you're outside of this silence.
'Cause
Really?
You're on the
Okay.
edge. You're on the edge. Is what we've
Of
determined.
glory.
So if I went like this,
No.
I'm out of range. That's what I meant. Okay, I wanted up, like away, like this way.
Yeah, then you're out of the range.
You're out of range.
Okay, what about that?
Yeah.
Okay. And I think I might cast Mage Armor because I really want to have like low AC at the moment.
Look, AC is pretty cool though.
Yeah.
Can't really put it that. It should be a thing down, but it's not letting me. So
Okay.
Because there's no
So-
map.
Because my AC is naturally 12, like, do I just get that extra 3 on top, so like 15, or is it just...
Your AC is 13 plus your dex with Mage Armor. So your AC
Okay.
would be 15.
Oh, yep, cool. Awesome. That's okay.
yeah, like
Okay, I
that.
see. That cool.
There's not a lot I can do.
Okay.
Am I technically in that?
I assume that helps a little.
Did you put the mage armor effect on yourself?
Yes, you did.
I clicked it, yeah.
No, she didn't. Drag that effect onto you.
Oh, I've got to drag it onto myself.
It's okay.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
don't know. It's all good.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Does Annex
2 for
also? Did Annex also cast it?
On her turn, yeah.
Yeah, she has Armor of Shadows, so she did that.
Aragog, you're up. Aragog 1. Oh, that was okay. I fucked up.
My AC
Well-
really fucking me right now. Back up initiative, I mean.
Right. Okay. Let me just switch them then. Okay. Aragog 1.
Oh.
Well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh.
You see, it's sort of making a beeline towards Selena for some reason.
Cool.
No.
Web attack. Miss. Again, this large web comes up. You quickly put your hands up, and some innate magic, not a really spell, just seems to make it so there's a large hole in the web as it falls down on top of you and misses.
Oh, thank God for Mage Armor.
Chef Girl ID, you're up.
What's Mage Armor?
I'm going to bonus action to ingest one of my morsels.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, so that, and then I put that on myself. Never mind, doesn't want to put it on myself, so I have to drag it. I can forget that it's not a self thing. As far as I can tell, they have no interest in me right now, so I'm actually. There's trees in front of me, yeah, or is this like?
Yeah.
I assume I can see it. Can I? And if I have to roll, that's fine. Can I tell that it seems focused on certain party members outside of the mini kobold thing?
It has a lot of eyes. You're not really sure which
Yeah.
of them it's using at the moment.
I figured that was
It's
it.
hard-
That's fine.
Yeah, it's hard to really
How
tell
many
the
of the eyes
intentions
are
of a spider.
googly?
None of them. It's hard to tell the intentions of a spider.
Okay, in that case, I'm actually going to utilize the silence on this one. So stepping into presumably the silence range.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how silence works. Is it if you're just in the range, it's
No sounds.
That's what
Yep.
you're fighting, by the way.
Oh, that's fine.
Nice.
Hi, Franklin.
So stepping into the silence range, probably 2 in.
That's disgusting.
I'll be keeping an eye on the direction of the spiders, and I'm going to hold my attack action for if one of them walks in my range. I don't have range attacks, so
Sorry about stream chat, I forgot.
yeah. So that's my turn, I guess. I've ingested presumably a herbal tea morsel and holding my attack action.
Okay.
Yep.
Ring. Man Spider 2. Sat in a square.
Go away.
Okay. 1, 2, 3,
Cyrus, I don't think you're on a square properly.
4, 5, 6.
Good boy.
Will yeet a web with disadvantage at Selena. And miss.
Oh, thank God.
That's his turn. The Satyr will use his action to cut himself out of the thing, realizing that... No, he doesn't have any of those. Yeah, he'll just... Actually, 1 second.
Actually, no, I want to be
strength
stuck.
check.
One second, real quick.
Many things to look at.
Yeah. Well, that sucks. That'd be funny, but it sucks. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, this'll work. You see as he's like... He just starts saying something in a language you guys don't understand, and then he just like closes his eyes for a second, and as he does, he's replaced quickly with a lizard, a giant lizard.
Huh?
As he jumps out of that form into giant lizard form.
Bursting the webs like Hulk's pants.
Nice.
So not at all, because Hulk's pants always remain there.
Bursting the web like Hulk's shirt.
And that's his action, so he's then going to run up behind one of the giant spiders. And that's his turn. Osiris, you're up. Nursing on deck.
You know my favourite part about being a support caster?
Go on last.
You're a support card.
Not having any damage spells, because it seems like Shadow would be real handy right there.
Oh, dude, I'm like would be salivating if I had that spell.
Shadow.
It was between Shadow or Silence, so I picked
Do you know what would
Silence.
be really useful right now? Lesser Restoration, which I just dropped for like a healing spell.
Restoration is a healing spell.
I dropped
realized-
it for like the I
Sorry.
can't remember what it is. It's like a prayer healing or whatever.
Oh, dude, pray, healing, pray. Pray to my
Right,
God.
what are you gonna do, Osiris?
Yeah, I don't have many fucking options.
Who do we pray to?
I will... I should save my spell slots.
Should you?
Yes.
Kinda.
I will cast Vicious Mockery.
On the spider or the other spider?
Well, the lizard.
Spider.
Nah, on the one closest to us, on Aragog 1.
Okay.
Oh, no, sorry, that's where my character cheat.
Nice.
That's still good.
Cheater!
Nice.
That's what
That's
I meant.
fine. Okay, you do 4 damage. As
Oh,
you-
hell yeah. I insult it by saying it's a disgrace to even attempt to call itself an arachnid.
No. No.
It raises its front 2 hands over its head like antennas and acts like an ant.
You hear?
Oh, dude, I can't understand that, weirdly enough.
Oh, not just Now I'll save my bardic inspirations for cutting words.
Okay. Alright. Tip top of the order. Aragog 4. I'm gonna go fucking nom on some dragon.
Ah, yeah. Seems good. Nice size.
Are you a square? You are, okay. Advantage, because of restrain.
Nice.
Croissant.
just-
Hit.
Oh my
dear.
god.
You take 1d3 piercing damage. You have to make a saving throw of constitutions. You do
That's
so.
good. saving
Really
throw.
good. You are
It's a
constitution
really good thing to pass this check.
and saving throw. Aragog 2. Is
I
gonna
dropped Mage Hand. Wait, no, it lasts a minute. It's not even concentration.
is
Never
going
mind.
Yeah,
to
if it's constant, is it not?
It's not, it's just duration a minute.
is gonna
Okay.
join his brother in and shooting white sticky stuff at Selena. And
Lovely.
succeeds.
Oh no!
Well, there she is. Restrain.
Damn it. There goes my plan.
Nursing.
I think he still cast stuff. He just.
I got
disadvantage on
Spider in
stuff.
front of me.
Spider on the front, spider on the back of me, here I am. Stuck in the
Samba-
middle.
Spider Eye Jack.
It's not the song I was referencing, but sure. You can use
Well-
an action to try and make a DC 12 strength check to burst 3 of the webbing.
I
You can
could.
attack it, or you can attack the guy.
You know what? I ain't going anywhere.
Okay.
I'm a fucking use goddamn, what's it called? Steady aim.
Okay.
Give myself advantage on the next attack. Cancel that disadvantage.
Okay.
I'ma then shoot Aragog 3.
Okay.
Wouldn't that technically get you back disadvantage because you're attacking with an enemy within 5 feet?
No, disadvantage and advantage don't stack. If you have at least one source of both, they cancel out all aspects of it.
But he would have 2 sources of dis versus 1 source of
Yeah,
av.
but
Doesn't
you have
matter.
got
No,
one.
2 sources of bad.
Hmm?
Pack tactics.
Ah.
There's no one else within 5 feet of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is.
The lizard's not
Giant
your
lizard.
Oh,
ally.
yeah. Either way, it doesn't matter, because again, they don't stack. So if one advantage cancels out all disadvantage,
Yeah, so
and
roll-
same other way around. One
roll
disadvantage
to hit.
cancels all advantage.
Okay.
Alright, so I'll roll the advantage. So
Just wanting to make sure because
just
I
cancel it
usually,
out.
I've only really seen the kind of plus and minus
Peacemaker!
sort of thing.
17. Do I get sneak attack?
No.
Okay. Take 7 damage.
It takes 7 damage.
Bonus action. I'm move the hand. Oh no, I can't move the hand. I used my bonus action already. I used my action.
You can't move.
I can't move.
That's your turn.
St-
Okay. And Spider 1 does not get that back.
Oh no.
I want to ask her.
Sentient spider things.
Ah! Oh, scream!
This one runs up behind you. Then we'll make a weapon attack.
What?
Oh my god, it has weapon.
advantage.
And it's flanking! No!
You basically watch as it runs up. It kind of like reaches its hands together, and as it pulls them apart, you see this like thin strand of web between its hands. And it runs up behind you. Does it hit AJ?
Yeah, it hits.
Yep, it hits. It reaches around you and pulls it against your throat as it starts to garrote you with the web.
You are now grappled. While you are
And restrained.
while you are grappled, you cannot breathe.
Holy you're being suffocated.
Christine.
I believe you can breathe for 1+ con mod in minutes.
Yeah.
Fuck hell. Oh god, I had an idea, but I forgot it. No, I remember it. So, After seeing these things come closer, I'm going to prepare myself for an attack towards me by initially summoning a Shadow Blade. But as I do, the sort of shadowy misted energy pulses blue. The blade becomes, instead of intangible, formed, and I'm going to cast a spiritual weapon in front of me. Please move. I want to move that to here. I actually want to. I just need to get on the table. It's fucking map. Please don't move. I can't grab it sometimes. Yeah. So I'm gonna summon a spiritual weapon. It, like, summons, flies out, and it attacks probably aggro 1 as a bonus action.
Yep.
What's the design of the weapon?
It looks exactly like Chrono Cutter.
That's cool. That's cool. Roll on the table.
Thanks.
You hit
Wow.
first, you can roll your damage and then roll on the table.
Yeah.
You
Can I
do,
also mark off the spell slot thing? So.
yeah, you do 4 force damage. You do 10 force damage as this large blade, like looking like a spectral Chrono Cutter, just exists. Oh, fuck me. Alright,
Wow.
roll a d12.
One-way ticket to the astral planes. It feels like you got 2 tickets.
Oh my god. Okay.
Which one?
You appear in this large desert of grey. There's obsidian trees everywhere, and you are in like,
Congratulations.
you are in what looks like just it's sliding sand as if it's pulling you all towards the center in the middle of this large just black hole that goes on past the horizon.
What? Do I have any idea where I am?
Fuck no.
Fuck no!
Okay, I just panic and try to like force myself against the sand, and that's my action.
Yep.
I think you're either in Pandemonium or the Shadowfell, my friend.
That's my action apparently because I used the bonus action.
Aragog 3. Aragog 3 is gonna turn around and bite the lizard.
Not the lizard.
Oh yeah, I want to do something. Roll me perception, Christine.
Oh, cool.
See your mother.
Motherfucking, you know I'm pressing that button anyway. Untick, retick.
This is before you teleport, by the way.
Before I never mind, untick that though. There you
Before.
go. And then I'll untick that. Perception, eh?
Mm-hmm.
14.
You hear a familiar voice, but also unfamiliar, as it says. Interesting. When the weapon was summoned.
What the fuck?
I don't know how to react.
I think you've still got half an octave to reach there, Kimmy.
I could try.
Come on,
I
don't know,
what
I
was
don't
your
know about
peak
that.
Edgelord?
It does 5 damage. And the lizard will have to make a constitution saving throw. Lizard fails, and the lizard is now poisoned
Oh, poor bastard.
and paralyzed, I'm pretty sure.
Hey,
Yeah,
I'm not
it's paralysis
here.
Poison.
I'm not here anymore, guys. I'm feeling great.
Okay,
Hey, look.
Alex.
She's gonna do the thing that warlocks do.
Oh, she's gonna,
Burning hands.
fireball?
Yeah, that's what
Magic
warlocks do,
missile?
right?
She's gonna
I'm pretty sure
roll
warlocks
to
use expeditions
twice.
retreat, right?
Miss.
She's gonna miss.
mean,
what
they
she's
have
gonna
it.
do.
Right. Selena,
Mm.
you're
So I
covered.
had this like really cool idea of like flying up so that I wouldn't be in range of the web, but you know that didn't work out.
By the way, if, like from
Um,
your point of view, you see the sword goes past you, turn around, and I'm not there.
The sword's still there, though.
Yeah, the sword's there, but I'm not.
Just go on, just like Court.
Oh,
No, Court's back. Look at it.
all I could see at this
We have
point
to
is
change
Eurasian
places.
being like choked out by a man spider. So I'm
Hey.
gonna attempt to see if I can help
That fucking sense.
How you gonna help?
by shooting the man spider. Let me just see what the range is on this bad boy. I gotta remember how to do this.
Okay.
Wait, I got my gas mask on, so it'd be sounding like either Bane sounds or Darth Vader's
It's
choking.
Rage.
Mr. UPS man, you can't kill me.
I may as well just fucking uppercast on Cure Wounds. I'm sorry, Cure Wounds. What am I talking about?
Yeah.
Whose wounds do I have to cure? I'm going to cast.
No, who's
I can't because I'm not in range. I
Just
can't
cast
walk.
Just use distance spell for her.
Wow, I don't have that.
I do.
I'm gonna cast Chromatical because that's what I do.
Okay.
And
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
cast it at-
Good size.
Hang on, do I have to? I have to say I'm gonna cast it at second
Yes.
level before.
Yes.
Yeah,
Roll
cool.
it.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going second.
Yeah.
All right, bear with me one moment. while I fucking remember how
Imagine
to do
being
this.
able to cast spells at level 2.
Imagine. Dragon.
Imagine wagons.
Imagine having to wait till
Dragon!
level 7 to
Dragon!
cast a spell at level
Imagine
2.
wagons.
Wagon. Wagon. Such a good
Hey,
face joke.
you have the range of,
Yes.
of a hand axe.
You're
You're
restrained,
restrained?
so you have
Oh,
disadvantage.
because I'm
Yeah.
restrained.
That's gonna miss.
Oh heck.
The only reason why I didn't have disadvantage is because I stayed still because I couldn't move.
As you generate the rainbow ball, you're like, this is gonna help, and then you realize, oh wait, I can't lift my hand up, and the ball is like, wait, stop, and the ball just leaves your hand and spins in the
It just
air.
kind of fizzles off in like
Yeah.
the distance.
You already had it like cast. It's like fuck.
I can't like a bonus action try to get out of this at all, can I?
You have to action get out of it.
Unless you
Well,
want to action cast Misty Step, but you already cast a spell.
I do not have Misty Step.
Well, there you go.
Oh man. Imagine having
I
a
can't
step.
remember. Does the Celestial or Soul Sorcerer ability that lets you get a plus, like it's like a D6 or 2d6 on a
You get favored by the
attack rolls?
gods. 2d4.
Is that for attack rolls as well?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I
could
keep
do that if
forgetting.
you want.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna do that. Actually.
Okay.
Sorry.
Attack
Do I
roll.
just tick that one off?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then
If you
I'll-
fail
Yeah.
a saving throw or miss with an attack roll, those are the only two. No ability
Well,
checks.
Hang on,
it's
having a struggle.
impossible to miss with a plus 2d4, given how close you are. So
roll
you can just roll damage on it.
Okay, cool.
You can roll a dice anyway if you want.
You,
needs to
you know
roll
what
a
you can
one.
do? You can roll on the table and see
Yeah.
if you can meet up with Christine.
I don't have a table.
You roll
She's not that
21
special.
cold
apparently.
damage to the man spider. As starts like getting chills as the ball just generates
damn.
ice around him. But otherwise, yeah, that's what you do.
Doesn't stop him from choking him out.
Not that you can tell.
Nope.
Alright.
Why are you rolling?
Aragog 1.
I'm cold-blooded. You shot ice towards me.
Nah.
What do you
Gonna-
think?
It's gonna move
Magic ice.
through the spectral sword because it can do that.
Yep, doesn't go in
And-
attack
and
either.
Goes
Great.
to trap my girl hands, and goes
Great.
to eat. It could chomps. Why did it
Oh,
roll
good.
without? Because
Why?
it was vicious. That's
Right.
You vicious mockery, but he hits. You take 9 damage.
Ow.
Constitution saving throw. You succeed, and
Oh,
you're good.
God.
Chef Galadie, you're up.
Yay! I realized I
Chef
need
Galadie runs away.
No, I was realizing I need to keep my word here, so I will move up. Finally, it's kind of blocked up my original plan, so this will do. I will go for a attack.
I wish I could give you a murder sandwich. But alas, I
Sound
am
good?
just web.
I am web.
I shouldn't.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. I didn't hear. Sorry.
You do 3 damage.
Great. And I'm pretty sure. I think that one still, unfortunately, has to be a main attack. Flavor dice. Talking must make. Oh no, it just needs to make the save. It doesn't specify action or bonus.
If it doesn't say it's a bonus action, then you have to assume it's an action.
Yeah, but morsels are bonus action for. No, it's an action if I'm using it against someone. Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah. Well, that's Have a nice life.
The man spider will begin his run.
Mhm.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I need to read
5,
spiritual weapon quick
6.
actually.
You just hear something in a language that sounds sing-song, and you can only describe as if purple was a sound. You just hear something as it like runs up towards Selena. And that's it. That's all it can do.
If purple was a sound,
The lizard is paralyzed. Poor lizard. Osiris, you're right.
I'm pretty sure the lizard gets to make a saving throw at the end of its turn.
Does it?
Does
the
this
poison?
poison say that? Or does it say if you fail by a certain amount, you're fucked?
Fails if poison is reduced to 0 HP. The target is stable with poison for an hour, even if again in paralyzed while poison this way.
Nope.
If the
Okay.
poison damage is reduces the target to stable but the
This
poison,
is so weirdly written.
even after regaining hit points and paralyzed.
What
with poison
creature
this
is
way.
this?
Oh, okay. Okay, so it's not paralyzed.
Oh, okay.
If it drops to 0, it becomes paralyzed.
It's
with
paralyzed. Okay, I see.
So,
You're
lizard.
not poisoned,
The
okay.
lizard now. Lizard's gonna bite down back. Hit. It's gonna do 5 damage to Aragog 3.
That's why I wish abilities were consistently written in monster manuals and books, because stuff like that is so annoying to
exactly.
read.
And then
Oh, I mean,
you're
it's not even
senior, okay.
consistent for American writing.
yeah, that's alright. I know what I'm gonna do.
What are you doing, Osiris?
You got a bunch of trouble in front of you, Osiris, my man. Just don't worry about Nerissa. I'll do it myself.
Jeremy?
Yeah, sorry,
you're
I
muted.
forget that I need a button. Oh,
You've been
yeah,
muted for how long?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna put myself here in a precarious situation,
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
and I'm gonna hit Aragog 1 with my longsword.
Oh, damn.
Shit.
Don't you have turtle claws?
Yeah, but my
Yeah.
longsword does 1d8 instead of 1d4.
Go ahead.
Want to hit?
This boy has strength?
Yes.
Yeah, it's Turtleman.
That's pretty
You
decent.
hit. Do 2 damage.
Nice. I'd like to point out that's another 1.
Yeah. I mean, it's not. It's a one on
Yeah.
a D8 though, not a D20, so it doesn't count.
Anything else?
Kinda wanna roll D100. I will, as a bonus action, inspire Selena.
Okay.
Don't die.
Don't get
Please
knocked
don't.
on.
You can do it!
Please
You're
do
an
not
independent
die.
woman who needs no man.
I don't want a man.
Crit. Crit a chomp.
Oh my god.
Max damage crit a chomp.
Oh,
God.
Take
Nerissa
19
still
damage.
alive.
Nerissa gets bullied by these crits.
Is succeeded on the saving throw.
AJ, you didn't roll the crit table.
I didn't, but you just should.
you should, but you're not gonna now. Fuck.
No, same thing. It's fine. Okay. That was Aragog 2. We're gonna run up to the cat. Actually, no, yeah, run up to the cat. We'll go for a bite on the cat. 24 hits.
Yeah,
Go
it
for a
does.
bite. Take 10 damage. Constitution saving throw.
I know 24 may not hit. Just
Succeed.
I'm so glad I have that extra now.
Yeah. Nurse you.
Okay. Alright. Bonus action. I believe I will.
I believe you will fly.
What are you doing, Nerissa?
I can't move.
Your speed is currently 0, yes. You're
To
restrained.
Leave the
And also
grapple.
grapple.
You need DC 12 action
Strength check.
strength.
You are
check,
also being
and
suffocated.
To leave the restraint, you need DC 11 strength check.
Try and break the grapple as an action.
Okay, roll the strength check. You break the
You
grapple.
break the grapple.
No, he
No, you
doesn't.
don't.
No, he
You don't
doesn't.
break the
No, he
grapple.
doesn't. That's my
still
plus
got that
stats.
inspiration.
Oh,
buddy.
do he?
No, I
Does he
don't.
have inspiration?
Oh.
No, that was you.
I used it earlier.
No, I don't have inspiration.
You got bardic
Oh, that's right. You
inspiration
didn't
now.
use it.
Oh, bardic inspiration. Sorry, that's
Oh,
what I was thinking.
right.
that way. I thought that's what you meant. Yeah, you used it on the performance check, remember?
Yeah, I did.
Great.
It was a good song. Bonus
Sure it was.
action. I'm gonna move the hand.
Okay. Move the hand. You caress the lizard. Where are you moving the hand
You
to?
cup his chin.
What?
Give him one last pat, lizard to lizard, before you perish.
Good boy.
Where are you moving the hand, Dimmy?
Jimmy?
Yeah, I'll move it here.
Slap the spider
Could I have
on its
picked up a
ass.
rock? Could I have picked up a rock? With
The hand
hand?
cannot make attack actions.
You cannot
pick up
improvise
a
the attack
rock.
of a hand.
You pick up
Just
a
pick
rock.
up a rock. I will
That is-
drop the rock on the spider's head.
You cannot
I'm
do
allowed
that.
to drop. I'm allowed to drop a thing
You're
as a
allowed
free
to
action.
pick up. You drop a rock. It does no damage. It rolls off the thorax.
Oh. Dude,
Does it
flex is a
distract
cool
the
word.
spider?
No.
Damn it!
It does. It says you cannot give the help action with the hand. Man Spider 1 is choking you out. Because so, it's got multi-attack and advantage.
Oh.
It's with the bite.
Fine,
Yep.
soon.
You take 17 damage and are dying.
Yeah.
At this point, it's like, okay. 1,
Cool, I did it.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh dear.
We'll do a claw attack against the turtle.
Man, this is a great position for like a
It's-
thunder wave or something.
That's what I was going to use, and now I'm gonna have to like
Silence
accidentally
is
hit
gone.
someone.
Your silence is gone. And yeah.
Hey, Osiris, it's another one.
Okay, Darren, I will say I had the stat sheet hiding.
Remember, you have to
the
press a
bird
button.
girl, so I didn't know where the bird girl was.
That's okay.
Christine, Darren has something
Cool.
to say to you.
Cool, I'm in a different plane for a turn.
All right, so you're where you are. You're in this ashen area. You see these dark obsidian trees. As you're looking
Yeah.
around, you see these slightly intangible figures, kind of floating, and they're floating towards the center. And then one of them just kind of drops out of sight. And you look forward and you notice that in front of you, which seems like an almost continuous curve, actually just drops like probably a few hundred feet to another one of these rings that keeps moving inwards a bit. And then you just reappear exactly back where you were.
You still have your turn, now go ahead.
Okay, cool. So I was reading Spiritual Weapon. It doesn't say I technically need to see the weapon. I could just attack something within 5 feet of it. I'm not gonna move it because I can't really see it. But can I just have the weapon just swing to hit something within 5 feet of it?
Yeah, you can. You're back at the start of your turn. You reappear.
At the start of my turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it said end.
It says start, I'm pretty sure.
I'm scrolling up. The end of the next turn.
No, okay. Well then,
Yeah.
you attack in the void.
Okay. Yeah. So my various action, I'm just like still mentally holding on concentration as a weapon. I'm pretty sure by itself it just seeks out whatever.
Just go for
target's
Aragog too. It's within 5 feet.
Yeah.
Swing.
close. Yeah. I'll do that.
Hit.
16. Okay.
9 damage.
Cool. And then so like I'm seeing these like sort of like as it goes further towards this like black hole abyss, like there's just like another layer below me.
Yeah, like positioned like underneath where you are. Positioned like right on the rim of the hole that you're falling from. There's just another ring there.
Think of it like. Alright, think of it like a ring around like Jupiter. Where
Yeah.
the black abyss in the center is like Jupiter, and you're standing on one of the rings, except there is another ring between you and the hole, and it's about a couple hundred feet straight down from the edge of your ring.
You know those baby toys that are like the rings of circles that make
Yeah.
the cone? It's like that, but
Yeah.
upside down. Without the ball.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Okay.
You have no clue how tempted I am to jump out of game.
And
Do
you
you,
jump.
do you want to jump? Yeah, you can.
You jump, but back into the material plane. You slide to the left.
I am going to, for my action,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she's going to be able to hold it. I'm going to try to see if I can ascertain anything from this place I'm in.
Roll. D20.
Just a d20?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. just roll. I'm gonna use Tide to Curse.
Okay. You have the feeling of being like weirdly
Also,
being in
where
a
she studied.
Huh?
Where she studied, you have a basic idea of the planescape, the most minimal possible understanding
Yes,
of it.
the basic.
I'd say you probably feel like you may have read of something like this. You know it's on the lower half of the planescape, but you wouldn't be able to pinpoint exactly where.
The lower
But-
half.
It feels as if you're in a temple of Tabris. That unsuspecting, like, just feel of being watched and judged by, like, all the statues and stuff in there.
Oh, this is a place where people just go to die. or
And
get,
then-
like, ascend.
Vop.
Oh, I don't like that. That was my action to probably do that, so... Let's do... I reappear and there's, like, now more than one spider.
Yeah. And lizard.
Cool. Oh, cool. Nice. Where does it come from? That's my turn.
Right, Aragog 3. And there's a lizard v spider fight happening in the background. It exceeds the point by 2. The lizard turns back. Sator returns.
And he has to make the con save.
Make the con save?
Yeah, because it was a bite attack, yeah?
Yes. So
He still has to make Constitution
we're
saves.
just taking the damage first. And then Constitution saving throw from him. Let me make sure his token's visible again. Boop. He succeeds. There's no poison.
Nice.
Annex.
Annex up
Selena
here,
on decks.
seeing this large gathering of people, decides that's a good spot to do it, and thinking maybe fire's not the best option in this place, she does something else.
Shadow.
As she casts a large ringing blast of sound behind the Etacap 2, hitting Etacap 1, 2, and Aragog 1.
Eticaps?
Yeah, they're Etacaps, there you go.
Like that?
Shadow.
No, they're not.
Like
They're
that.
man spiders.
Like that one exactly.
Man Spider 1 and 2 fail.
I've got
Aragog
PTSD
1
now.
dies.
Oh, thank God.
Aragog!
Man Spider 1 is looking rough, but still up.
I like how I come back to the shadow. I'm having literal PTSD from the fucking library.
I'm really glad I don't have to cast Thunder Wave now.
I disappeared at hearing shadow. This is literally the library, but in a forest.
Yeah.
Alright.
She's gonna
But
move
is
up.
it even more emotional
Shiner, you're up.
whiplash
Yolanda, you're on
than
deck.
casting
Court's not
Tasha's
here.
fierce laughter?
Also, because she killed something, Dark One's Blessing.
Oh, yeah, she will Dark One's
Oh,
Blessing.
you're
She
true.
doesn't do that very often.
Well,
Kill something?
there are 3
She's
people
not-
around me that are moderately damaged at the moment, so I'm going to use my new ability, Prayer of Healing.
That's a 10-minute
That's a
cast.
10-minute cast.
Oh, what?
That's
Yep.
that's an after combat spell.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's,
Okay, never mind.
that's
I probably
why-
should have read that properly.
What you're looking there, what you're looking for is mass healing word or mass cure wounds.
Which is, like, I think
Makes
5th and 7th level?
Or something
Well,
like that.
it's going to be useful after battle then.
Yeah.
But,
Oh no, 3rd and 5th level, my bad.
Throws a spanner in the works. We're all moderate. We should be fine. I feel like
dying!
Osiris is probably in the worst situation other than Nerusian, who... Let's have a look. Aragog 4 is really fucking healthy though, so that's...
You are still webbed up.
There's a spider right next to me, so healing me might not be the best option.
I can't get to you, I couldn't heal you anyway. It's
Yes,
more
fair
about
enough.
what can I kill. Let's see, let
You
me
maybe
see.
kill Man Spider.
I think I'm just gonna go for Man Spider 1 because... yeah, I'm gonna go with Man Spider 1 and I think I'll just cast a... Actually, I'm
You
gonna
want
use
disadvantage.
some meta magic and go quick and... no, actually.
You do disadvantage, but you also
Yeah,
have
stuff it.
inspiration
I'm gonna
as well.
use quick and spell.
Okay.
And I will cast a chromatic orb on Man Spider 2
Okay.
at 2nd level
Okay.
With disadvantage.
with disadvantage.
You have
It's-
inspiration.
I have bardic inspiration.
Bardic inspiration.
Inspiration.
I am going to use that bardic inspiration.
You hit, I think. Oh no, you rolled 2.
Pardon?
You need a roll or 2.
So if you roll a 2 or higher, you'll hit. So just roll your bardic inspiration and don't.
1 in
roll
6 chance.
So
Just
bardic
don't think
inspiration's
about
a
it.
D6. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
You hit.
You hit.
Oh my god.
Just what I needed. Okay, I'm gonna go.
Cyrus is clutch for everyone but himself.
Yeah, he is. Dude, Osiris is the best
20
character.
damage. As
Oh my god.
You, again, just cake this thing in ice. Osiris, it looks almost like an ass statue in front of you.
Nice.
But it's still standing.
Alrighty. I'm gonna go at it again with a. I'm guessing I have to do cantrip now. Is that right?
Yep.
Yep. I'm gonna go with a Eldritch Blast.
Elder Blast.
It sounds so weird from a sorcerer.
I know, right?
I'm gonna quicken spell and I cast Eldritch
Oh, and
Blast.
I can't use my Bardic Inspiration again.
Nope.
That was a try. It was worth a try.
Good though.
That's all I got.
Yep. Chef Galadi, you're up. Demetrios and Osiris are on deck.
You're not gonna believe it. I go for an attack.
Holy hell. You hit.
Yeah.
You do 4 damage.
Okay,
Hell
I'll see you in the
yeah.
next round. Goodbye.
And Spider 2. Shrunk.
Oh no.
Oh my god, this is gonna be horrible.
Bye!
Does Osiris get an attack of opportunity?
No.
No.
Oh
Don't within
heck.
range.
Hit.
I'm
Bye.
probably dead.
You just
No,
do the
you're
web
not.
garrote, AJ?
4 damage. No, this is just
Oh.
the bite.
No,
Fail
it's
the
not good.
poison check though.
I might be dead.
You're
Bye.
Poisoned. And then I'll go for the claws. And hit.
Did you roll the poison damage?
No, it's just the effect. Because the poison damage is part of the bite for
Oh, yeah, you're right.
the caps. And you take 9
Yeah.
damage.
And then he died.
I'm
Okay.
dying. And I'm paralyzed, I guess.
What did I
No,
come
it's
back
the
to?
right.
No, different poison.
Then poison. That's that.
Oh, right.
Demetrios will. What's this
There's a
radius?
spot.
Man, imagine coming back like to this scene, like disappearing for a round and coming back to literally 2 people unconscious. What the fuck's happening over there with that random person? And I'm being surrounded by spiders. I'm having a heart attack.
He's like.
I'm getting the table up just in
Let
case.
me have a look. He casts a spell. And you hear. You hear us, Yetrefte, Tisora! And this large creature, what looks like a stag made out of constellation-esque thing, just appears in front of Nerisian and heals him.
You put both Moonbeam and Healing Spirit down.
Oh, that's a weird thing. I hit the wrong one. Oh, it's tiny.
You-
Where did that go though? Okay,
I moved it.
interesting. Alright, it heals Nerisian. For 1d6.
Dude, Healing Spirit is fast.
You're still webbed in Nursian, so. Oh, wait. No.
Yeah, still. It's not
Yeah.
Garud,
I don't
it's
think.
still.
Did Nursian got knocked out by the Etacap, so yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
so-
didn't get
sorry.
poisoned.
Yeah, so you're not paralyzed.
Oh, it's not called Manspot?
Osiris, your turn.
I've been betrayed.
And I said it wrong. Yetrepste.
I know what that means.
What does that mean?
Sabra.
Come to me later.
No.
Oh, thank you.
That's for 6.
What's the word?
That's
What's
like
the word?
half
Osiris?
my health almost.
Wake you up.
I forget
It's
to
actually
half
not
your
half.
health.
Wakey,
No,
wakey,
I'm-
hands
I
off
have
Snakey.
Okay.
I have 19 HP.
Go for it, though.
Yeah.
My
It's
half
very,
is like.
it's very kind of you, Cyrus.
Thank
You have
you.
19?
Oof. A bit too
Oh, no.
kind for Osiris. As Osiris steps away,
did you not want to use your attack?
Oh, no.
I was gonna say to Osiris, did you not want to use like? Oh, you moved away. That's why. Okay.
Right when like Osiris moved out, a quick bite into the neck, dealing 32 damage.
What?
Oh my god!
It crit.
Oh. Jeremy, you gotta remember that you're
So does he
But-
die there? I think he dies there,
Yeah,
right?
he doesn't get to move.
Yeah.
Does that mean he doesn't get to heal?
No,
No, he did that first.
Oh,
no,
he
the
healed
heal
first.
first. Heal first.
Giant
So
spider
you're up.
form.
He's down.
And don't forget, Jeremy, there's a push to talk button.
Yeah, there is that. That exists.
Giant spider form will bite Racine and continue to play a guy who dies and then undies. You fail.
Oh,
You take the poison damage. You're stabilized, but you're paralyzed.
Oh my god.
Giant spider 2 will attack the cat.
That is so unfortunate for what you did me.
Misses the chef. Nursing, you're in a constant state of death and undeath. All you can do is scream, but no one will hear you.
You know what? I'm gonna
There you go,
start
Jeremy, I
praying
agree.
to some kind of god to help me out of this situation.
And being ignored, wondering what the go is.
Yeah, Mike was not working that whole time.
Do you have anything you wish to say now?
Well, not now.
Besides
What's
fuck.
done is done.
Oh, sorry,
I'm
what-
just gonna cut in words that fucking.
Oh, sorry, we did
No,
not hear.
It's not your fault. I don't know what's going on.
No, Jeremy, you were silenced.
Mhm.
Either way,
Fuck you,
unfortunately,
Kimmy.
even if you were cutting words, that you got crit. So
Yeah.
Yeah, but what's
So-
its yeah, it's yeah.
It's plus.
No,
it's
you
a plus-
you got.
It's a +4. It,
plus
it-
too much.
Yeah,
Just.
you could roll it. Yeah, if you. You know what?
It'd still
I'll.
be a
You can
max
roll
of
the
19.
d6. Roll the d6. It can limit the damage you take. If it's
No.
yes.
Okay.
Okay, I cannot limit the damage you take. I'm sorry.
Okay, look.
Right,
Actually, AJ, did you roll on the table for the crit?
I did not.
Come
Yeah,
on.
make sure, because
Bring it
not
on.
every option is max damage. There are options that are not max damage.
It was max damage.
Okay, never mind.
Are you sure though?
Yeah.
At least
I will
you're
say-
within like reaching distance from me now, because I could probably try and cure you.
Yeah,
I will say
that-
there is a 1 in 6.
No!
No kidding.
She's moving away from. Oh, okay. If she's moving away from Annex, you could do that.
I could, but she's fighting. The bird is probably a lot more of a threat right at the moment.
It did cast shadow.
Go for it.
Hacha against bird. Miss against bird. Second Hacha against bird. Hits.
Okay,
Bird
cool.
takes 7 damage. She takes no damage whatsoever.
Actually, she
Nice.
takes full damage because on her turn, she used her bonus action to cast Curdling Shot, which destroys her temporary HP and turns it into
I
offensive on her
thought
next attack.
she was
What?
this turn.
What?
I thought it was this turn.
No,
That she
it's
was
just
doing it.
it's on your next attack.
But didn't she use the bonus action to absorb it with the drain, with the blessing?
Nope,
Okay, yeah.
that's automatic.
So she
So
takes.
she takes 8 damage,
She takes 8 damage. She takes 7 damage. And we'll have a plus
and
8
then
to her
she's-
next attack.
and she's going to use Hellish Rebuke.
Hellish rebuke. Okay.
That thing's dead.
It fails. You
Bye.
see as 1 second with the curdling shot. Just want to read what we wrote.
It takes an additional 8 necrotic damage on top of
Yeah,
this.
you see as a wall of fire appears with the Edicat, and from it, also these large globules of blood seem to just seep out of what has. And Exara has like this large red peacock pattern on her cloak now, and they all seem to like seep out of the cloak, leaving only the white.
Ooh.
And then it just joins the flames as like this like globules of necrotic balls, and the Edicat
That's cool.
perishes.
That's a cool ability.
Yeah, it'd be awesome if she got to kill anything ever. Unfortunately, she never gets finishing hits, so she doesn't ever get to use it.
That's true.
And also, she's got a finishing hit, so she gets back another another Darkon's
Is it on
Blessing.
her turn there?
Alright. I don't know about that. I was reading it
It's
before.
whenever
Nope,
she.
when you
Once-
when you reduce a hostile to 0 hit points.
Okay, yeah. She'll get
Alright.
yeah, she'll get another 8 HP back.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm trying to process how it would, how someone who disappeared and then reappeared to this scene, like this mess.
Roll on the table.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's why I already had it up, AJ. What temporary? Come on!
Why can't it be normal?
What temporary?
You basically just healed us.
No, I gave you temporary hit points. I
Roll
didn't
your
kill you.
damage! Roll your
Roll your damage, Jim.
damage!
Take 2d8 damage.
We're gonna go.
You all saw that, right?
Yeah.
What temporary? What?
Selena gets 2 HP.
No, it's 10 HP. It's
Two
10.
temp
D8
HP.
did not want to land.
It's the two nearest creatures. So Selena gets 1 temp HP, and the next closest creature is Chef Girl RD for an additional 1 temp
Is
HP.
it 1 or 2?
It's
That's
half the
half
damage.
each.
Wait,
Yeah.
isn't
If
it
it's nearest
Osiris
to
because
would-
they're equidistance?
No.
I take
Wouldn't
2
it
damage.
technically be the Ettercap?
The Ettercap and Chef Girl RD are equal distant from
Yeah,
Christine, so I'm being nice.
They're all.
Can it be friendly creatures?
It's any creature, but it's we are being nice, saying Chef Girl RD. So
Thanks.
you take 2 damage.
Actually, no, give it to the other thing.
You take 2
No,
damage.
no.
Wow.
I did. I took 2 damage.
What a
Um,
fucking roll.
What a turn! So, what would this look like?
You start like you're questioning everything. What happened if she's down? She's not dead. And then you just like a large cut appears your arm, and you're like ah! And these large these little blood globules just like floating like iron stones around your friends.
Oh, she didn't even like cover up that like arm that was cut. She'd probably it would be on her casting arm, which would be her left. Then with her left hand, she will like move around the blade quickly, like in panic, to like the one right next to Selena.
Mm-hmm.
And make attack with bonus action.
Yeah. This is a fight. This is an interesting fight.
This is a fight and a half.
Hit.
Dirty 20.
You do
Murder.
8 damage. As you bring down the blade, Selena, you look as you wake up as the chrono cutter decapitates the Ettercap in front of you. And
For a
you
moment,
almost
I
see
remember.
Court.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, for a moment there, I forget that he's really gone. Until I realised that it's not.
What have I
He's
done?
with you in spirit. Chill weapon.
Inspiration.
No, spiritual weapon.
Inspiration! I demand,
I agree.
Darren!
Inspiration!
Shut up. I agree.
Darren, you
Already- Already have it.
Disappointing.
Get 2
Disappointing.
inspiration. That was my bonus action.
Continue. I'm sorry. I was
Thanks, please. I'd like a turn.
no, you went to another dimension.
I don't want to go back. Please don't take me back.
Would you like to roll on the table?
No.
Be quiet.
I haven't used my tide to cast, so I don't roll on the table yet. I am going to use my action.
To tie to chaos for no
The
reason.
tide to cast for no reason. I am going to 5 feet. While I'm moving, I'm going to cast. I'm going to start casting spell as chains erupt from my arms again. I'm gonna cast Chains of Suffering.
You guys see as a spell that I don't think she's done before.
She has.
Oh, she has.
Yeah, once.
It happened with the cockatrice.
But once again, you see these spiritual chains appear from both Christine. They lock around the spider.
Whereas last time it was like she's trying to cast something else and then that happened. This time she has a little bit more like it looks like she's actually like the chains come from her arms and like she looks like she's actually moving them. 19
Yeah, hits.
damage, and the creature is currently chained.
The large chains, like instead of like grabbing onto one of the legs, it just becomes bigger and thicker and goes around the the stubby neck that it's got.
And then yeah, I'm gonna move up another like 10 feet just to keep like that spider from moving anywhere closer towards Selena.
Okay.
And that's 15 for the movement. My action, my bonus action. That's my turn.
Use your bonus action?
Spiritual weapon.
Oh, I didn't even know. Oh, yeah, that's right. You did that.
Yeah, the court sword.
That crits on Demetrius.
Oh my god, AJ!
Oh man.
Fucking 19
Demetrius.
Wait,
damage.
is healing spirit a concentration?
Yes.
Do you want us to play D&D today? Like,
He needs to
He
roll
wants us to
a
die.
DC 10. So let me roll the. What do I want you to
Also.
die? No, I don't want you to die.
He wants Demetrius to
Roll
die.
roll the crit table. Also.
fuck the NPCs. You don't get any friends
He
anymore.
succeeds on the saving throw. He just takes the massive damage.
One day, something will be at less than half health and they get crit, and there'll
Yeah.
be other effects that happen.
Oh, I hope so.
And then the saving throw against being
They
poisoned.
scare me.
He fails,
Oh dear.
Demetrius.
and he's
Oh.
paralyzed and stable.
Okay, at least he's stable.
And has to roll the saving throw again.
Well, no, if he's paralyzed, like if he's unconscious, the thing goes away.
He's stable, he's not unconscious.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Oh,
okay.
yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess he's unconscious. The healing spirit goes away.
Yeah.
Magic.
So Dimitri isn't actually in a state of life and death. He's just paralyzed.
Well, he's alive but paralyzed because the healing spirit would have stopped him from being. He would have been stable.
Yeah. And next his turn. I am
No,
probably gonna
pushes.
curtail it. So I'll do
Go
that.
for it.
I've been trying to think what the hell I'm going to do with Annex this whole time.
Eldritch Blast.
Ellen Blast. So that's an option, but which of
I
the
didn't-
3 spiders do I target?
I need to tick up a first level spell slot. God, +7 to hit, Jesus Christ. I forgot about that.
Just going to do the basic, chance, Eldritch Blast, spider number 4, curdling shot as a bonus action. So it'll be additional 8 damage on top of whatever I roll. Is there a way to manually do that?
To add a DA on top of it, you could probably like have a thing effect that you can add, which is on your
No, it's 8.
abilities.
It's just a +8.
Oh, you can still just add an effect and just put 8, can't you?
I don't know how to do that, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to
That's
roll the
fair.
hit and have AJ add it after.
Just roll a DA after, yeah.
Or I'm going to miss.
Add action. Yeah, I think you can just add an action, add damage, and then just put the number as 8.
Doesn't matter, I missed.
That's good. That's a good miss though. Should have asked who was next.
Next is going to move down.
I've
Thank
had
you.
a fucking combat and a half.
I think Osiris has had a fucking combat and a half.
Yeah.
so-
Yeah.
Nerisian, yet again, is caught in a cycle of being knocked the fuck out. Unfortunately, being the front runner rogue, you do tend to get targeted, and he just got in the worst clusterfuck situation he could be in.
Yeah.
When you lose momentum movement as a rogue, you're kind of in a bad way.
Dude, also missing out on a turn for me is just like, okay, well, I can't really stop things from happening.
The gods continue to love.
Yeah, pretty much. You're in a bad way because you were once you were immediately stabilized, you weren't like knocked unconscious, stabilized, knocked unconscious, stabilized. It's literally just you went down to the poison, which made you
Okay.
poisoned. Then
Yeah.
you were stabilized by the
She missed.
hearing spiller, which then made you paralyzed. So it's like you now are fully conscious, but you can't move.
So
Yeah. It is a constant state of agony. The gods are laughing at me. What the fuck have I done to upset them?
You're restrained and paralyzed.
I'm gonna do.
Poison.
Oh,
Poison.
No poison. Jesus, AJ.
Yeah, I'm gonna quicken spell again.
Mhm.
With what remaining meta magics I have.
I haven't used those yet.
Where did that disappear to? That's weird. Huh.
This spell would be useless.
They
on
just the
Chain
meta
Spell.
magics just disappeared.
Oh, if you use the last?
Oh, because your
did you-
your display,
Oh right. Okay.
your mode in the display is on
All
standard.
good. All good.
It's on combat.
Or combat, sorry, mine's on standard.
I'm going to use Cure Wounds to begin with on Osiris because, you know,
Okay.
that would be the right thing to do.
You sort of reach your hand out as far as it can go and just sort of slap around Cyrus as you pass on the 10 HP.
Well, that's nice. I like it when it's, you know, a decent amount. And then with my remaining energy, so it's only a cantrip, isn't it? I can't
Yeah.
use any of my other, like my ASMR abilities at all.
You could do that.
Yeah, you
I
could.
could?
It's just
Yeah,
spell
as long as
has
it's
to
not
be
a
cantrip.
spell slot.
Okay. I
Interesting, actually. That's a smart idea.
might just use Healing Hands on myself. Just... Oh, actually, you know what? I'm gonna just go with an Eldritch Blast, I reckon.
Eldritch Blast.
Just a good old Eldritch Blast.
Blast him.
Wish me luck.
I'm wishing upon a fallen star.
Hit.
That's alright.
That's pretty good, that's it.
Oh, it would have been nice if we hit that 10.
Spider 2.
Oh man, Spider 2's still up.
Chef Galadi.
Yeah.
Succeed. Oh, you are no longer poisoned.
I have so many options right now.
You hit.
Hit.
It's dead.
I think you only really need to do like one damage.
Stab it
And
through a
I'll use my
spidery
movement
face.
to head up behind the other one.
It had 8 eyes.
Three.
It now has no eyes.
4,
No living
5.
eyes.
I want to give this thing as a free action. Can I just like lightly poke its leg?
Yeah.
Get its attention. Yeah. Yep, I do that. That's my turn.
He also screams because he cannot die. Osiris.
Oh shit, I'm up!
I just like smile weakly at you. Wrapped up in my web. Tries to wave.
Fine. I will use my action to make Selena not restrained anymore.
Oh.
Okay. You bring out your sword and you. She is no longer sticky.
Fantastic.
you.
So I assume I use half
Hey.
my movement to stand up.
Yep.
Sorry, I probably should have clicked that before.
You didn't use it though.
Oh, I didn't. Shit.
Yeah, you blasted.
Now I don't know where to go. Oh,
Change
it's
your
fine,
mode at
it's
the bottom
fine.
to standard.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll just fix that.
Bonus action. Crap.
That way you can just be able to see everything.
I will inspire Chef Galardi.
Okay. Tip top of the turn, Yordo.
Your cooking's pretty alright. Best of
I guess.
Scuttle, 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 scuttle. Shoot. So you can make an
Oh,
opportunity
Nelly.
attack.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that
Stab it in the butt.
Oh.
Miss.
can you never inspire me again? Thank you.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then we'll grab Nerisian
Oh,
and
God.
action dash.
No, it was just in range of a weapon.
So 1, 2, 3, and then it moved 2, so it can move 2 more.
Oh, the worst part is if I was a slightly bad character, I would contemplate leaving him.
Nerisian, you scream for you are captured and cannot move. Christine.
I would scream if I was able to scream.
Cool. I just got a question for admin's
Yes.
sake. If I cast my chains with distance spell, that won't change the
Spell,
distance
the
where it
distance
goes away.
needs to be self, doesn't it? Oh no, it just
No.
changes double. No, it's just
No.
it's just the
It's just the
inspiration.
attack itself. So if I attack it out of the 30 foot, the chains dissipate anyway straight away.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to double check that for admin. I don't know if I asked it, sorry if I have. Here. In that case, one more question of admin.
No, you are not.
Racial
on edge.
spells, would that count towards 2 spells a turn? I'm assuming it
Yes,
does.
it's still a spell.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, cool. Just checking. To me it does. In that case, I'm going to first action move up the sword most likely.
You can go
5,
20
10,
feet.
15, 20, yep.
Shit,
Move up.
Chef got ID.
10, 15, 20.
Pick up the sword and batter with yourself.
I'm then going to.
Right,
Perfect. I'm
stand.
just in range.
Yeah, to kill
I'm
Chef
going-
God, you're away.
Shut the fuck up! I'm going to use a sorcery point
Mhm.
to cast my
Whatever
inflict
turn.
wounds as a distance spell.
Okay.
Inflict wounds is a range of touch. I can spend a sorcery point to make a range of 30 feet.
Just killing Nerissa. Easy, he's down already.
I mean, it's tempting.
Just do it.
Just do
I
it.
am going to. Motherfuckers!
Answer my suffering. Just roll, please.
I'm trying to tell you what I'm gonna upcast at the second level.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now do
Hold
it.
You're gonna end my suffering?
Crit.
Oh my god.
Hold on, let me.
Oh.
Hold on, is that thing injured or is it
It's,
fine?
That is full health.
Full HP.
Okay, so it was shift, crit here, roll out,
Normal thing.
standard.
Max
Yikes.
rolled.
damage plus
If you-
extra damage.
If you rolled one more, it would have been a special effect.
You
Yeah,
touch.
well, when you do straight up 40
You
damage.
touch it.
Yeah.
As you grab onto its arm, like a mosquito pumping blood out of it, this like large spectral hand that's grabbing onto the spider just starts pumping, like it's been sucking.
None
the
of
mosquito
none of
blood
this
out.
as well is like fancy. This is
And
like
it
grotesque.
it's
almost.
shriveling, like all the blood or everything shrivels until it's a dehydrated sack.
I did ignore it.
Also,
I did ignore
Kim, you didn't just ignore the dying state. It went straight to dead. That was more. It was full health. It just went to less than negative double its hit point. Less than negative its hit points. It went from full health to insta dead in one move.
I think I would be nauseous after doing that.
It's just like a dry up husk of a spider after that.
Nice.
I'm gonna now throw up. It's a free action.
Go ahead, I'd allow it.
It's my turn.
You feel like
Achoo!
it's 5 feet of movement.
Throws a web at girl ID. Restrains. Picks up Mercian. Skitters away.
Can only move 15 feet while it skitters though.
Annex's turn.
Curdling shot is still active because I'm in.
What have been my rolls today with these 20s?
Yeah, fuck you, Kimmy.
Yeah, balance, am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Is she doing the same thing
Plus
again?
8.
Yep.
Yeah, she already curdling, so that's gonna be 21 damage.
You see as the
Wait.
bolt, you see as the Eldritch Blast that she usually has is already this deep red color, but then it turns crimson, and then just an ongoing barrage, more necrotic damage on top. And yeah, like you just see her constantly getting these red stripes in her feathers, and then disappearing the next turn.
Did the damage actually go through?
It did. I just need to make and it dies, so she can do it again if she
Yep,
wants.
and she gets it
Yeah,
back,
I
so
was
she
gonna
has it
say.
yet again. That's why I didn't even bother removing the temp HP because it worked.
Yeah, she just
Oh,
gets the
it just
HP
does.
back. Yeah, like it fades away for 3 seconds and then comes back right at the end of the turn.
It's an unfortunate fact with Annex is that she is a DPS cannon if she can get finishing hits.
If she can get the first hit, is rolls.
Final hit, if she can get the final hit, that's all that matters.
I'm
Yeah,
going to
combat is
dash.
over.
I'm gonna. Alright, Can someone please help me get Nerisian?
You're undone. Cyrus already.
Yeah,
cut
I
you
know.
out.
I can't carry him on my own. I'm weak.
He's like
Well-
3 foot.
I'm like, I have a
Yay.
-1 to strength.
Yeah, but you
I
can
did-
still pick up a small puppy. That's as much as Narisian weighs.
Alright then. Really?
Oh,
Not
wow.
really, with all his gear, he still weighs a bit. But I'm
Yeah.
saying, just to ease of context, you guys can pick up Nerisian. You notice Dimitri, the other guy, the Satyr, is actually bleeding out.
I'll
I'm,
cast Healing
like-
Word on both of them.
Wait, if like I have, yeah, okay.
Should we still
I
be in
have a spell
initiative?
that I can heal everyone.
No, because they are still paralyzed and stable.
Oh, they're stable, right? Of course. Oh. Never
My spelling
mind.
salts, I
Can
don't think
someone
help
help me
yet.
with the other gentleman?
Demetrius is not stable.
Yeah, I'll go
Yes.
help Demetrius.
I'm gonna.
The paralysis makes them stable.
I am going to use Spare the Dying. Oh, if he's stable.
Yeah, they're both
Okay,
stable.
Never mind then. I am going to start my 10-minute
sorry, I didn't read
cast
that.
on Prayer of Healing.
Let me just quickly read the spell of Spider's Venom.
I mean, like you just didn't have
No,
paralyzed on
you're
them,
right.
so
I misread it. I didn't see
No,
the
no,
part
no,
where it says the
that's
poison
still-
knocks them out, makes them stable, but paralyzes them.
Yeah,
Let me
I
just
I
quickly
need to
read this.
something as well.
on to
Up to
that.
6
Spider.
creatures. Okay.
It lasts for 1 hour. Okay. Because while
you could-
while it does that, right, it's fine. But once that hour's gone, while the poisons are gone, it then goes back into a dying state. So I was making sure that it was gonna not die.
Just so you know, there is 7 of us with the other person.
Yeah, but not including me.
I mean,
I'm
okay.
healing everyone else.
I'd say heal yourself more than me, actually.
Yeah, but
Same.
Selena's going to heal everyone else.
No, like if you're just gonna ignore that,
She's
I'm gonna
just
move.
doing it.
Just
Why did I
let
move
her
out
do
the
her
range?
magic powers, please, chat.
What do you mean chat?
Go chat now.
I'm a
Where should I
player.
roll this? So I just like anywhere?
Yeah,
Just roll into the table.
Just
onto
target.
the
You
screen.
can target everyone by control clicking them, and then
Yeah, I already did that.
Yeah, then it'll be fine.
Jesus.
Everyone heals for 13.
Cool, I healed 2 hit points.
An hour later, they unpoison. So you guys have a short rest available if you want.
Sweet, I can make more morsels.
I'm probably like just shaky
Just
for like the
like-
entire hour.
Sit down on the ground and just look exhausted.
So Annex is going to take the short rest because then she gets the spell slots back.
I don't get anything meaningful on a short rest. Still gonna take it.
Well, if
Neither do
we're
I.
doing an hour, that's gone.
But if people are still low on hit points, I'll
Song of
Song
Rest.
of Rest.
yeah, Song of Rest.
For the one person who didn't get healed.
You could Song of Rest for Selena.
I'll just do that then.
So,
Does Selena want to use hit die to heal?
Yeah.
Oh,
I just
sorry, probably
do
should
I
have asked
just
that
use
first.
that. Wait,
No, that adds on.
That ons to
Yeah,
people.
it's
That ons on to whoever rolls a
Hit dice.
A hit dice.
He already
Nice.
healed you for it
Go
as
to-
well, so
that guy's gonna be unconscious for a while, right?
Yeah, both unconscious
He's
for an
healed.
hour.
he's healed.
Yeah, paralyzed.
Okay.
Oh, the paralyzed, right? I forgot. Sorry.
I'm also going to use Arcane Recovery.
Okay. At the end of an hour, unless someone is going to do anything.
I
No.
was going to ask, just to the rest of the group, would casting Alter Self make this guy more comfortable, do you think?
Why? Why?
Mm,
He
maybe
already
if he
knows
like saying
us.
something of his own kind.
Why lie? Why lie to him? Why? And she's like shaking, like
It's a
threatening her.
comfort thing. If you don't want it, that's fine. I'll be over there. Like a step away.
I think that maybe we should start our friendship off with truths.
Oof.
Alright, well, unless anyone's doing anything, an hour is going to pass.
An hour later, Dimitri, you're tense, and as this last bit of it, you feel like you start feeling more and more. You can start moving your hands. It's got that tingly feeling like you've been sleeping on it. And eventually, at the end of the hour, you're just fully relaxed and able to move your body. No need to scream, because there's no need to scream.
There's no pain. You've been conscious for an hour. You can just now move.
I can understand him screaming.
I'm fucking done with this shit!
Do you want to make more noise and attract more?
Oh! Is that it? Perhaps you would like to live in a constant state of fucking agony for your entire life.
You
What
told me,
seemed like forever.
Nerisian, you told me to make sure the others are safe when you're the one endangering them a lot more than I am right now. So kindly simmer down, go back over there, and shut the fuck up.
Nah, I'm done. I have had it with this bullshit. Let's go steady aim right bell.
Can I? Okay, I was gonna say something. That's okay.
I
was gonna-
am going to...
I was gonna say, could I hold an action seeing his anger?
You can try.
I mean, I was gonna hold an action, second level inflict wounds. If he attacked, I
You
would
didn't
distance
say
spell
it.
it. I was about to when he said it, so that's fine. I understand it.
I will leave it up to DM's call whether you allow me to dodge.
Make
Action.
both of you can make a
Initiative.
dexterity check. Just make a straight dexterity check, both of you.
Dex check.
It's basically initiative.
Oh my god.
Unfortunately, Nerisian beats you
That's
by
fine.
2 points.
That was just a question, so.
Can you steady aim a melee attack?
Yeah,
As-
you could do advantage.
1 second.
It gives me advantage
Take-
on my next attack, but I can't move.
Take the stuff off.
As he goes in, the satyr on the ground lifts an hand up. Vines just quickly wrap around Nerisian. Stamata.
Nerisian, stop it! Before I join in too! I've had enough of this!
Right, not that one. Shut the fuck up, you petulant little girl!
You listen here!
No!
Stop
you
doing
listen!
this!
For all I know, this girl and her only agenda is to get us in danger, kill us, rob us, like it has happened before, and I will not tolerate it any longer.
So you
So
think the
what?
best idea is to just attack blindly?
No! I don't think that. Right now I'm in a fucking rage. It'd be best if everyone leave me be.
I'm not scared of you. You
I
don't
never
frighten
asked.
me.
I never asked if you were fucking afraid of me.
Then maybe you
From a
should just
person to
calm
afraid to
down.
fucking live.
I'm going to ask this plain simply, AJ, is his rapier still in his hand?
Yes. That is way still in my hand.
If you didn't drop it, I'm going to stab it into my shoulder.
It's still in, like, it's caught in his hand, but, like, wrapped, but this vine's also, like, wrapping
Oh,
it to the ground.
if it's actually, like, completely stopping it.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just going to say, I'm going to make a wisdom saving throw real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Is this really important right now?
You watch as
Sorry, my friend.
you watch as magic basically pulses from Christine throughout this. Like as she was yelling, it was pulsing more and more. You see similar like sort of things what she did to that spider just sort of just start coming up from her arms into her hands. This sort of necrotic energy brewing. That's a 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
You've just
Roll
killed
that
Nerisian.
damage!
I
Roll
hope
the
you know that.
bones!
I know.
You've also got to roll on the crit table.
I know I did.
He's less than half health, so you have to roll on the advanced crit table.
No, he's not. He's just on.
No, he's not. He's not. I know that part.
He's just on that, yeah.
You've killed Nerisian.
Honestly, it would be better if he was less than half health right now. If he was 1 point under.
Oh my god.
Right,
I'm so sorry.
Roll it.
I'm so
Everyone-
sorry.
No, it's fine. It's what your character would do.
I really wish it wasn't. I'm so sorry.
I'm very quiet, Mira. I'm sorry, but they're all yelling at them.
I'm so sorry.
Go ahead.
Dad,
Roll the
keep
damage.
yelling.
Roll the damage.
I'm really sorry.
Insta death.
It was nice knowing you.
You roll 51 damage as you lash out onto Nerisian. He just shrivels. As you
At
look at
least
him.
you had the goals to fucking make your own decision this time.
As
Court would be proud.
As he says this, the light in his eye fades, and hanging limply in the rope is the body of Nerisian. And oh, it's super shitty. It's super shitty, but I think it's Darian. Yeah, we end it here.
Kim,
I must say, I respect your performance, Dimitri.
Oh my god. I'm so sorry.
What a fucking session! Oh my god.
I'd like to loot Nerisian.
oh yeah,
I'm just gonna. Did
Go
Kim
for
roll?
it.
Did Kim roll on the critical hit table?
Oh, sorry. No, I
yeah,
did. I'm
go-
shaking
go
right.
ahead.
I'm shaking right now. I'm sorry.
Just
Hey,
go
maybe
ahead.
you can save his life.
Doesn't matter.
No, just the extra
Okay.
damage.
I'm sorry. I'm shaking. I'm just.
I would have
I
thought
like
it
how,
was
I
cathartic for
like
you,
how
though, Kim.
those two didn't
Huh?
make it right.
I mean,
I did.
I didn't need that. I don't. What's with my rules today? Why today? time.
on death. You should have picked a different spell.
It's the only spell that wasn't attack. That wasn't a
Jeremy,
chase.
you could have gave him inspiration.
He could have cutting words. Lord help.
27.
Yeah, no,
Oh.
it wouldn't have helped.
That's
Oh my god.
You take 6 less damage. You're still dead.
I'm so sorry.
no. You could have maybe stopped the attack, but you could have stopped the attack.
It's a crit.
I think the only thing I
I
could have done
think-
was use my inspiration to go against it, but it was too late.
I think I'm gonna
Like I think just to say after that there is like the same thing happens, like her hands touch on, and then she like almost like a snap realization what happens, but the magic's already connected and it's just the same thing, just like the sort of bleeding out of Nerissa, and then she like immediately just like steps back, just like completely almost like paralyzed, shaking everything, like hands to her own head, like no.
This is too upbeat for what just happened.
But what for murder? For murder? I murdered. I'm so sorry.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
you did a straight up heckin' murder.
I'm gonna quickly just run through the end stuff so Kim can cry off stream. Thanks,
please go on mute.
thanks for joining us. We all, I don't think we had fun anymore, but we all had fun up until 5 seconds ago. Join us tomorrow. I'm playing some Yakuza. Wednesday is more Pokemon. Thursday is more Bring Us Farms as we're heading into fall. And the next week we'll be back with session 26 of Icewind Dale, as they're starting off the last third probably, maybe second third. We'll find out of Icewind Dale, so it's gonna be fun there. Little news on my end. There is a 40% chance I will be streaming on Tuesday. It is my birthday. I might decide to stream some like party games with friends. I'll let you know on the day probably. But we'll find out then. Anyone else got stream stuff to spit out?
No.
It's a good time. Everyone's having a great one. Sam, do you have any stream stuff to
great
talk
time.
about?
Sam?
Hmm?
Do you have any,
Do you have any
streams
stream things
coming up this
No,
week?
I'm just giving the basic recap of what just happened to someone.
Okay.
That's fair.
Check out Snowfox whenever they're on. Right now, I think Zacera is currently on a PC like explosion thing going on. So check her out if she's streaming. Otherwise, that's what happened if she's not. Yeah, come and join us. I'll see you tomorrow for more Yakuza. I'm not gonna say don't go to school because you should go to school because. Don't go to school. What happened? Look at the one student. What happened in the campaign? She went fucking cuckoo. Don't go to school. School's bad. It's gonna make you crazy. But
Narissa never went to school, and look what happened to him.
yeah, look at Nerissa. You'll just end up dead instead of murdered. You'll just be dead instead of being a murderer. But anyway.
I gotta be honest, I always
That's
thought it would be
his
Jakuba that would kill you, but
Oh shit.
I'm just disappointed now.
But anyway, yeah, I'll see you in 2 weeks' time for this.
I can't wait.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
See ya. Bye.